to the country's midsection in the wake of powerful storms that spawned tornadoes, devastating a small Iowa community about 45 miles southwest of Des Moines.
The storm killed several people when it ripped through Greenfield, Iowa Tuesday, leaving destroyed homes, crumpled cars, and splintered trees. Sergeant Alex Dinkla of the Iowa State Patrol says they're still counting the dead. Meteorologist Tony Fracasso of the Storm Prediction Center says part of that same storm could hit areas of Arkansas and Texas today.
The area of, most concern kind of stretches from basically through the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
The Houston area of Texas is still recovering from last week's storms, which killed at least 8 people. I'm Donna Warder.
And in Houston, Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says the lights and the air conditioning now back on for most, but not all, utility customers.
85% of people with outages have been restored, as the latest update from Centerpoint. As of this morning, 142,000 people in the region are without power, a lot of those in Harris County.
She spoke with KTRK-TV. Israel recalling its ambassadors to Ireland, Spain, and Norway after those 3 countries declared recognition of an independent Palestinian state. Israel's denouncing the decision, quoting the country's foreign minister, "History will remember that Spain, Norway, and Ireland decided to award a gold medal to Hamas murderers and rapists." We are holding on to our cars and trucks longer these days. The average age for a vehicle now stands at a record 12.6 years. Ahead of this morning's opening bell on Wall Street, the Dow futures are down 73 points. The NASDAQ futures up a fraction. S&P futures 9 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-355-4107 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-355-4107. That's 800-355-4107. What do you have to lose? Call 800-355-4107. Again, 800-355-4107.
An Israeli cabinet minister visits a contested site in Jerusalem.
Israel's far-right national security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, has visited Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, declaring the contested holy site belongs only to the State of Israel. Ben-Gvir said his visit's a response to a move by 3 European countries to unilaterally recognize an independent Palestinian state. We will not even allow a statement about a Palestinian state, he said. The hilltop compound is revered by Jews and Muslims, and the conflicting claims have led to numerous rounds of violence in the past. I'm Charles Villatesma.
Estonia's prime minister says Russia is waging a shadow war against the West. As battles in Ukraine turn in Russia's favor, borders are being bolstered in the frontline Baltic nations of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, as well as in Finland and Poland. News and analysis at townhall.com. Prosecutors and defense lawyers in the Trump classified documents case due in court for the first time since the judge indefinitely postponed the trial earlier this month.
The defense is arguing once again for a dismissal, alleging the case fails to clearly articulate a crime and amounts to a personal and political attack. A newly unsealed defense motion was made public on Tuesday, along with hundreds of pages of documents. It reveals defense lawyers are asserting the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago in 2022 was illegal. In another reveal, a former chief judge of the federal court in Washington issued a sealed opinion last year, which said that Trump's lawyers, months after the search, turned over additional documents with classified markings found in the former president's bedroom and his office at the estate. I'm Jennifer King.
Hunter Biden's lawyers pressing a judge to delay their client's federal tax trial set to begin next month in Los Angeles. They seek to push the June 20th trial date back to at least September. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Michelle Lujan Grisham has been trying to keep a stranglehold on Roswell and southeast New Mexico for years. She wants to control our industries, jobs, and freedoms, but does not seem to want to control crime or our border. Enough is enough. This is Jared Hembry, and in my first session in Santa Fe, I stood up to her and the radical progressives. We must continue to stand for our principles. Please stand with me for a better, stronger New Mexico. Vote on or before June 4th for Jared Hembry.
Paid for by Jared Hembry for state representative.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Senator Greg Neibert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Neibert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Neibert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Neibert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Neibert for State Senate.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to it.
Halfway day, hump day, whatever day you want to call it.
Last couple days of school for the kiddos in the land.
Yeah. And
short itis for many.
I'm sure, like I said, every single day Kim wakes up. Here's how I imagine it. Mike wakes up in the morning. It's like, morning is here. His eyes flutter open.
Just like
and then there's Kim on the end of the bed, cigarette in one hand, just doing curls in the other hand. Just counting down them days, man.
You forgot one thing.
Oh, okay.
You forgot that she put the etch in the wall.
Oh, no, that was yesterday. She etches the wall, of course, every day. That's been established. And now she's just counting down days to her release, man. Big Mama rocks. Big Mama rocks.
Actually, she keeps going, San Juan de Mendejo.
Se what a new.
Anyway.
That's 2 days of Shawshank references. That's awesome. She's almost off the island, man.
It's all right. We're going to spend tomorrow talking about Rita Hayworth. But happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope all of you are having a delightful day so far. A little cooler today.
It was kind of nice, actually.
A little breezy.
This is something I've tried to explain to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's cold. I'm like, it's going to be 103 today.
Drink this in.
Soak this in. Yeah. Get all the cold you can into your skin because it's going to go away.
That's right.
I love it.
But today we're not, like they say, our high is 87.
Ooh, that's downright springy.
I know. So we'll see. Look, I wore pants today.
Did you really?
I've been wearing shorts all week.
Yeah, I'm wearing shorts today.
Now they're sweatpants, so they barely qualify as pants.
Well, they barely qualify as outdoor attire, outside of home attire.
One would have to first sweat to get to qualify.
Now wait, are we talking? I haven't seen Mike from the waist down yet this morning. Let me explain. Are we talking gray?
Oh yeah, this is my
He's about to kick a leg up here. Hang on.
Standard
okay,
uniform.
there you go.
My standard
Nice
uniform.
Nice.
My what I normally.
At any point in time, Mike can do morning radio or get scrubbed up for surgery.
That's right. I always dress to impress.
There you go. It's a dress down to impress, but it's still dressing to impress.
That's right. I mean, it's less impressive, but it's impressive. But everybody's got somewhere on the brain. Here, so that's a good thing for the most part.
And now I literally just thought of this question as we were going on the air because you had sort of a bit of a crinkle in the voice.
Yeah, I think it's allergies, kind of. I've been a little sniffly the last couple days with the allergies and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now this brings to mind a question. If let's say we're 2 days out from cruise day from what do you call
vacaciones?
It? What do you call it? Departure day.
Yeah.
When they smash the bottle on the boat. Do they still do that? I don't know. Anyways.
They only do that for brand new boats.
Okay. If you're 2 days out from that,
yes,
and you or your lovely wife get stricken with an illness,
yes,
say a cold, some kind of like bronchial situation, possibly maybe something gastrointestinal, what are you going to do?
I don't think it'll let us on the boat.
How are they going to know?
I have to take a health screen before, I don't think they throw a doctor on me, but I know the day we check in or the day before, we have to do a health screen survey.
So what happens if you come down ill a couple of days before do you just void your vacation or do they move your...
We will get our money back.
You'll get your money back or they could just move you to a different cruise day?
If you can't make your cruise, we have a deal, so we will get paid back. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? You answered my doggone question. You had an answer before I asked the question, I feel like.
Yeah, we have that covered.
You've studied this.
Yeah.
So they won't let you on the boat if you're visibly ill.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wouldn't fake it? You don't think that most people could fake it?
You're right. But at the same time, if you're really sick, I don't think you want to be on that boat anyway. Because it's the last place you want to convalesce is in a tiny little thing where you can't leave. You know what I mean? Just stay home.
That just explains me all the time.
Well, because if you get sick, because this happened to Kim. One time we were on a cruise. She got a stomach bug. And she went, and it was about 4 a.m. She was getting real sick. And I was like, Kim, let's go down to the medical deal. And she was down there and they IV'd her and did her all up and everything. But and it was the last full day of sea at the cruise. They said, no, you're stuck in the room. You can't leave. You can order room service.
I remember that. I remember that was the Disney cruise, right?
Yeah. And she was allowed to order room service,
right,
for free and all that, and get free food. And basically, and this was when we were with our in-laws and everything.
Let me do an impression of Mike during that time.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, are you doing okay? Everything okay? You good? Okay. I'll be back in about 45 minutes.
You know what? I was a good husband. I stayed with her all day that day. It was a day at sea, and thank goodness Disney Cruises had a good TV.
They really do have a great
selection. I watched
selection.
so much Disney that day. I saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I saw so many old
Mike
Disney
tracked
movies.
down Song of the South somehow.
We're watching old Disney movies. The Parent Trap, I think we ended up watching.
Which the Haley
OG.
Mills?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was on there. So we ended up watching it that day. And then one time I was like, oh, this room. So I went down and got her soup. And navigating 3 decks of ocean liner with chicken noodle soup going like this was not a good idea. So we started doing room service after that. But I was a very good husband then. Only time I left was at dinner time. The family was going down to dinner, and Kim was like, no, go with them, have a good time. And so I went to dinner with the rest of the family. But after dinner, came back up and hung out with
Look at you doting husband, you. Aw.
Good
for
guy.
the win. For
Mike
the
Winters.
win right here.
Right here, good guy.
He's like, see, I'm a good guy, so that means I should get double ice cream, right?
No, not even I want extra. Most people think I'm hot garbage, so give me credit where
Every now and
credit's
again,
due.
you gotta credit where it's due.
That's right.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of credit, well, more help than credit. Of course, we know the summer is getting summer. It's gonna be hot.
It's getting summerer,
and it does what summer does. But if you are able to, oh no, I lost the thing. I gotta go dig it up. Hold on. Mis apologies. There we go.
I just noticed Kim just tuned in right when we started talking about this.
Oh, she was in there. She knows all. She sees all.
She pops in on the chat. She's watching. It's just she's watching, you know.
That's right. Listening, monitoring.
I can hear everything you
hold it
just
over my
said.
head later. But of course, with the Gonzales Warming Center,
Yes.
with it's been open here now and helping. We have the warming center part. Well, we got that warming part covered now that we're in the summer months.
We're warm.
So it kind of shifts to really a cooling center, but it also is going to be the hive and everything else. But they need water desperately to give out to people that need it during the summer months here. So if you are able to donate water to you can go through Foods Not Bombs, but it's that organization, but it's all going to the Gonzales Warming Center, so you can make arrangements to drop it directly off there at the Gonzales Warming Center. But if you, it's at 405 East 3rd, by the way,
Yes.
if you're not familiar. But they are desperately needing water for the summer. So if you can donate a case of water here or a couple cases there, whatever you can donate would be greatly appreciated. So they can make sure everyone that comes to their doors this summer, they've got enough water.
Don't forget, you can order through Walmart delivery and have them deliver to the center itself.
What a great idea. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
could have it delivered
and
directly.
Delivery drivers absolutely love unloading 40 packs of water, especially if they have to carry them up apartment stairs. They love that.
I detect a hint of sarcasm.
Oh, as many trips as possible. That's the motto of the Spark driver. I mean, of the delivery driver. Excuse me.
A Spark will hold a pallet of water on its roof for 3.5 seconds.
I will present an additional need or request, and this is just from my own specific experience.
Yes.
Water, absolutely necessary and absolutely needed, and relatively cheap when you go to any store. If at all possible, please donate Gatorades, Powerades, something with electrolytes.
That's true too.
Absolutely vital during these months, because
Absolutely.
dehydration is more than just water. You're losing your salts.
So if you got a few of those, I'm sure they'd
Couple
love
extra,
to have those.
if you're at Sam's and you happen to grab a case of Gatorades, grab an extra case for the center. I guarantee it's going to go a long way.
It's got electrolytes.
It does. It's what plants crave.
So if you could donate water, like out the toilet.
I know
No.
because out there on Saturday, I was dying, but I was chugging water. I'm going to stop doing this online. I was chugging water left and right, but I was still dying. It's because I was losing the salt. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you need them electrolytes.
Give a salt lick to lick on there too. But
Yes.
yeah, but if folks can help out, please, the Gonzales Warming, even bring a case, whatever you can donate, it would be greatly appreciated. And keep doing it throughout the summer because they're going to need it all summer. So I'm saying it now, but keep checking back every couple of weeks. If you can bring water, that would be an amazing way to help out in our community.
Yeah, if we're already at Dog Days stage and it's May,
Exactly.
we in trouble.
Wait till July. All right, let me give you the rundown.
Yes.
We're going to replay our interview we had with the American Legion Posts 61 and 28. They joined us yesterday, talk about Memorial Day events and all that. So we'll play that interview for you here in just a few. Lori Schatz with Desert Willow Wildlife Rehab Center will be joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Give us an update and some of the things they've got going on. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay our interview we had with Chaves County Manager Bill Williams. He joined us Friday to recap the last commission meeting and talk about other things happening around the county. So we'll play that interview here about 9:15. Plus, we'll have lots of commercials and all your features and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Not much going on except for the hot temperatures, especially tomorrow and Friday. We'll be in the upper 80s to low 90s today. A little bit breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Clear and upper 50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the mid 90s for the afternoon high on Thursday. Getting a little bit windy, but we get lots of sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 60%. Winds currently out of the north at 20, gusting to 29 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 87 today. So a little bit cooler. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour, shifting to the south later today. So look for that. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 58 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Thursday, we do have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in at 11 tomorrow, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. Winds will be up a little bit. Will be sunny, high in the mid-90s, 96 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Thursday night, mostly clear, overnight low 58. Winds will be blowing out of the southwest 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Winds expected to drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Friday, sunny and 93, northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For your Memorial Day weekend on Saturday, sunny and 96. It's going to be breezy. Sunday, sunny and 94. And for Memorial Day Monday, we're looking at sunny, mostly sunny skies and a high of 94. All right, 7:21. We're going to take a 4-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with our American Legion post here in Roswell, talking about Memorial Day's observances and all that. That's up next. Don't go away.
This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington. Candy Ezell is running for the state senate, and I want to tell you why she's the best person for this job. Candy has been fighting for us. As a state representative, she's been an advocate for law enforcement and for the rule of law. She's been voting against Michelle Lujan Grisham's attacks on the Second Amendment for years. And whenever Candy stands up and says no, people pay attention. That's why we need her in the state senate. She's also been fighting for all the policies that have led us to the border crisis, including opposing catch and release of violent criminals, drivers, and professional licenses for illegals. A vote for Candy Ezell is a vote to restore law and order and to secure the border here in New Mexico. This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington asking you to vote for Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
I'm Candy Spence Ezell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer.
You don't have to live with a non-healing wound. The Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center at Artesia General Hospital provides compassionate care to people experiencing chronic or complicated wounds. Led by certified family nurse practitioner Rochelle McIntyre, our wound care team will work with you to build your customized treatment plan. Podiatrist Jennifer Chow and Joseph Krupa also specialize in lower limb wound care, and we are proud to have state-of-the-art hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a proven treatment that promotes successful healing. Visit artesiageneral.com/wound to learn more.
My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for the New Mexico State Senate, District 27. My deep-rooted connection to the land and understanding of the challenges facing rural communities make me uniquely qualified to represent the interest of District 27 in the State Senate. I love this district and its people, and I look forward to representing you in Santa Fe. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by Committee to Elect Pat Boone, New Mexico Senate, District 27, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And now through June 30th, get 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off L3302 tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit Amigo Machinery, located at 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we got the Towns American Legion here with us this morning.
How white man.
That's right. Of course, Louis Mestis with American Legion Post 28 joining us this morning. Of course, we have Commander Stephen Lee and Auxiliary President Jen joining us as well from Post 61 family. So good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Good morning.
Good deal. Well, we since we're all on one stage together, it must mean we got a big weekend ahead.
Well,
It's Memorial Day.
So,
yes. This weekend is, obviously, while most people are excited about the 3-day weekend of grilling, and of course kids are off school, graduations this weekend. It's a busy weekend with everything going on in people's lives, with high school graduations and
for sure,
and
dads and
kids
grads.
getting out and yet Father's Day. But this weekend is also Memorial Day weekend, and while everyone's going to be hopefully spending time with family on Monday, grilling and doing that kind of stuff, we would like to invite folks to come be a part of American Legion's.
And please keep your veterans in hearts and minds for this weekend, especially those who have given the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's what Memorial Day is about. I always say this: it's never a bad time to honor veterans and everything. So when you thank Veteran Reserve, that's always a good thing. But please remember that Memorial Day, we honor those that paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Most people don't know the difference. Veterans Day for all veterans.
Yeah. Veterans Day,
living or dead,
everybody.
And Memorial Day is only for the deceased.
Yeah. Now that being said, honor veterans. Thank you for
I
your
never
service.
discourage that.
Some veterans. Sometimes we're veterans. Some of us get salty, and sometimes that's not.
Well, especially Vietnam veterans, you want to make sure to welcome them home because they were treated so badly when they got back.
Yeah. So we love to use Memorial Day as also as a chance to thank those that fought for our nation, but. The Memorial Day is to honor those that did not come home. Those the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice. The ones that when we talk, when you see the Tomb of the Unknown and our POW and all the people that made ultimate sacrifice that didn't get to come home back to their families. This day's for them. That's what it's.
Although I've been seeing a lot more advertisement about other veteran holidays. Military
Armed Forces
Day,
Day is getting a little bit more
Day,
shine now, I noticed, and things like that.
Vietnam Day, and there's lots of things that crop up, but the two biggies, of course, Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
But we will be having ceremonies at both cemeteries here on Memorial Day.
Yes.
I don't know which one starts first. I don't know.
Well, ours
61.
61 at Memory Lawn.
Okay.
Saturday, we're going to be out there about 9 a.m. Cleaning up the cemetery and putting out flags.
And to be honest, we'd love to invite the public to that too.
Oh yes, we enjoy any help.
Yeah,
and
we're kind of crotchety.
Please bring a screwdriver. Because the ground is very hard.
It is.
So you gotta make a hole for the flag to go into. And it's a whole lot easier if you have something hard like even a drill. Some people will bring drills, ice picks or something, but dynamite.
You have to get through nature's concrete.
Something can penetrate New Mexico's hard sanded soil.
Well, Monday, 10 a.m. At Memory Lawn, we'll start. We'll have some sort of a ceremony. We weren't able to garner a highlining Speaker this year, so Don Weld will say a few words. He's the first vice of Family 61.
And he's a Marine.
He is a Marine,
just like Louis here.
That's right.
Yes.
And he's got
and they're both Vietnam vets, so
Anyway,
there you go.
So
but, you know, I've come to realize in the last couple of years, because of Post 61 and the hard work they've done out at that cemetery, that there's over 300 veterans buried there.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's so important, that we all gather on Saturday around 9 o'clock and put flags out for them.
Sure.
Because our community has forgotten those deceased veterans there.
Yeah.
And so Post 61 has done a great job of bringing that back.
And to be honest, we could not do it without the public support. The donations, the labor. We've even have a few phantom volunteers that mow the grass from time to time that don't want recognition or don't seek it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we can't track them down.
Well, and the problem with Memory Lawn is it had fallen into disrepair
Sure.
for so long, and
it changed ownerships. And, it kind of got to a land of forgotten there. For
the
a little bit.
records aren't exactly the greatest, but we have recently unearthed a couple more headstones that were veterans.
Yeah.
And so
it's kind of an archaeological thing out
It
there a little
is.
bit.
It turns into an archaeological dig sometimes,
Yeah.
but every time we find one, of course, it's gotta increase the number there.
Absolutely. So
we're at about 302 now.
Good.
But
well, I don't know how it's good, bad, but I'm glad we're finding them. That's
well, I
the
know
good
we're
thing,
finding
you know?
them.
Yeah.
And identifying them.
Absolutely.
And Post 28 will have a ceremony at 11:30.
Yes.
At South Memory Lawn.
Yeah, South Park Cemetery.
South Park.
Yeah.
South Park.
So they'll be on the south end down at the the veterans and South
we'll be
Park
there by the
Cemetery
administrative building.
Yeah.
There's a large flag, and we'll have a ceremony there.
Excellent. And what time was that again, Louis?
That's at 11:30.
At 11:30 a.m. on Monday. Yes.
Our ladies auxiliary will provide refreshments and drinks, and we ask the public to come out and.
It's going to be like 99 that day, so you probably want a few refreshments.
Just to warn everybody, I won't be able to attend because it's out of my rolling range.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you can't. Or I guess you could, but you have to start probably on Sunday. But
right, something like that.
Yeah, and that's why we moved it from 1 to 11:30 because of the heat.
Yeah, it's probably a little more. People appreciate that a little bit more out there. But come out and help honor, please. And I always want to remind people: bring your families, bring your kids.
Yes, I want the kids
bring
there.
the young folks,
students.
there.
This is an educational opportunity.
Absolutely, you need to have your kids understand the importance of what these folks have done for this nation, and we want you to have an amazing, fun weekend with your family. We're just asking you to spend a half hour at one of these or both of these, either whatever works in your schedule. If you can go to both, we'd love to see that, but pick one that works best in your schedule and take a moment to honor those that have fallen, because every one of us that are enjoying a brat or a burger or a burrito on Monday get to do it because somebody paid the ultimate price in some place you probably never heard of, doing things that go above and beyond the call of humanity sometimes for America.
Freezing off body parts and the chosen frozen.
Yep. And this is why we
sweating in the jungles of Vietnam, or
sitting in the deserts, sitting in the
desert, in places you don't want,
sitting in rice paddies, doing they were all over the place defending and supporting America.
Or even minding their own business in a tower, and somebody walked in and decided to blow it up.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. This is what Memorial Day is about. So, please make it a priority to come out to one or both of these ceremonies on Monday with your family. Bring the kids. Come Saturday, we'd love to have you come out starting at about 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Come, we're going to be doing some cleanup out there, so if you got some work gloves and things, that would be great.
Yeah.
And like you said, we'll be placing our flags on the various graves throughout the cemetery there. So if you bring a screwdriver, or ice pick, or something,
whisk broom is nice.
Something like that.
Something to just get the dirt off of headstones.
Yeah, maybe some of the headstones, because guess what? Wind blows here, and we get dust, and
it sure does.
And we are, our goal someday it'll be grass out there, all grass everywhere. That's our goal. Is to
we have a new POWMIA flag that's going to go up on Saturday out there. We've ordered a new American flag, but that won't be here until probably around Flag Day.
Okay.
But we finally got at least 2 of the big flags with warranties on them, so
excellent.
We can put one up and take the other one down, get it fixed, and rotate them out now.
Okay, well that's good. That might actually last a little bit longer.
Those are not cheap flags, let me tell you.
New Mexico is not.
They have
not the
comma in
easiest
them.
on flags. They're tough on flags.
Yeah, they are.
Mexico weather is tough on flags. But
so if anybody would like to donate to the cause,
absolutely.
Memory Lawn is always taking donations.
Yeah, and you can earmark it specifically for that. So,
yes, we can.
I mean, if you don't tell us, we'll use it in general fund, and it'll go to anything American Legion
Oh,
does.
absolutely.
Which-
Any of the programs.
It's all good. We do good things with it. But if you have specifically want it for Memory Lawn, you just earmark that in the donation.
Well, I mean,
whether it's
in
for
the
gas
short
money
term,
or-
we got oratorical coming up, Boys State, of course, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So,
And then another thing, which I think we'll put on the radar, maybe transition to this right now, is this summer, American Legion will be hosting the state convention here. All of the Legionnaires from all over the state of New Mexico will be coming to Roswell, New Mexico for a weekend here in June. And they're going to be, you're going to see guys in pointy hats, all guys and gals in pointy hats all over town. That weekend in June here. And but we've got some great supporters that are going to be a part of it. We're going to be at the Liberty. We're going to be at the Bowling. We're going to be all over town. But if you'd like to support American Legion, we are looking for donations. We're looking for door prizes or gift basket type things. If you'd like to donate things for swag bags or monetarily, we could use a bunch of money right now.
Please contact
big sack of cash
us
would
at
be awesome.
RoswellLegion.org.
Yeah.
Any donations come in there. You can earmark them if you want for any of our programs, but if you don't, it'll help support us for convention,
Absolutely.
which is a very expensive ordeal.
Yeah.
But anyway, it brings a lot of veterans to your businesses.
Sure. And Louis, I mean, this is kind of, for state convention, this is where, the big thing is that the new officers for the state will get elected at the end of the day, but it's a big powwow. It's a chance for all the Legionnaires to kind of touch base, talk. If there's national issues and things that need to be addressed, this is where they kind of all meet and gather
Well, the VA
and
is
talk about
going
it.
to be down here giving reports and
so
taking intake and all kinds
So
of
it's veterans
stuff.
coming in, taking advantage of services, the camaraderie, but at the same time conducting the business of the American Legion.
Yeah.
But it's not all work. We this is a social club at the end of the day. It's also, camaraderie is just as important to us as servicing our veterans. So yeah, we're going to be at the bowling alley. We're going to be having barbecue. We're going to be at various places around town having fun and doing that. So please, if you see Legionnaires, come talk to them. Come welcome. If you see a bunch of out of towners, come do Roswell what Roswell does. Be nice. If someone says, hey, you recommend a place to eat, tell them your favorite place to eat. Do all that stuff. Favorite place to shop. They're going to be coming and spending money in our stores and businesses while they're here. And so there'll be a few hundred of them coming through town here that weekend with auxiliary and Legionnaire and everything else. So welcome
some
to
of
town.
them have never either been to Roswell or really experienced the whole alien thing. It's still new to them.
Sure.
Even if they are from New Mexico.
Sure.
So I expect some of them to have.
Some people don't go south of I-40 sometimes.
Yeah,
We have to invite them down.
And attention all veterans, if you want to come to convention, you do not have to be a member of one of the 2 posts in town if you wish to attend.
If you want to learn more about what we do, there's going to be a lot of people who can learn you on it. So
for sure.
Yeah, anybody can come and register.
Absolutely. But yeah, come and come celebrate, be a part of it if but if you really want to find a way to thank veterans and things, this is a good way to do it. Yes, helping us financially here, but even if you're like, I'm a business and hey, I want to donate things to put in a swag bag, or here's stuff for a gift basket, or something like that.
Anything.
And
you got some wine in the local area you want to feature. You got some, booze of some sort. I know they got some whiskey and stuff in the local area, but food or gift certificates or anything like that, all welcome.
Yeah, especially, or if you're a business or something that kind of is uniquely Roswell, caters to Roswell things and wants to, put a little Roswell in there for your business, please please reach out to us. We'd love to do all this to welcome our Legionnaires and auxiliary and all of our folks from all over the state. But at the same time, this is supporting veterans in our state. This is, yes, this is Roswell centric, but this is really supporting all veterans throughout the state. Where through the information and everything else, and this is the family fun side of Legion. So if you want to learn about all kinds of Legion, like I said, we'll be all over town during that weekend in June here, from the Liberty to various other places around town. You can't miss this. We'll be all over.
Yep, for sure.
Louis, is there anything on Post 28 side we want to let folks know
Well,
about?
just want to remind the public again that our ceremony will be on Memorial Day at 11:30, and our guest speaker will be Michael Trujillo, owner of El Charro. Mm-hmm. He is a combat veteran. Yeah. And
28 member.
So he's 28 member.
He's not commander anymore, but he has been in the past.
Yeah, he has been.
I'm sure
commander
he's
in the
involved
past.
in leadership somewhere there.
But,
Louis is a former commander.
That's right. Louis was too. We got a lot of commanders in the room. Commander.
Well, that's the danger when you go to these events, is to say the word commander, because everybody looks at you.
I'm a Commanders fan, by the way. So
there you go. Well, I thought they were called Redskins.
Well, they used to be.
But,
They got a name change.
Oh, that's true.
So one big announcement we're prepared to make at this time is Family 61 acquired a building.
We are officially not homeless anymore.
It is going to take a year before we're going to be able to open the doors.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not quite.
To do.
Yeah, it's not quite.
We got
yet.
over $100,000 worth of renovation we got to do before we can open the doors.
We got to do it quick before it gets to 200,000 because that's the world we live in now.
Isn't that the truth?
But the new post is going to be at 605 East 2nd Street. So
it's blocks over from where we are now. Here.
It's across the street from Farmers Market, 2nd and Garden. It used to be the old Toyo Tires.
Mm-hmm.
We bought those two buildings there, 603 and 605 East 2nd. So 603 is going to be the office, and 605 eventually will be the post. The building at 603, we're hoping to get renovated by August, September time frame, so we can move the memory lawn offices there and stuff like that.
Because right now they're in someone's garage.
Yeah. Well,
yes, they are.
That's true. They're in Don's garage, and but the post itself won't be open probably until next June.
I would say we'll probably have a grand opening shindig.
June day,
invite everybody out.
Day or something like
have a little
that.
party, and we'll do all that.
But it's gonna take a long time.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of sweat equity in there that still has to be done.
Absolutely.
And by the way, our hands are always out. If you want to help contribute, we will definitely.
RoswellLegion.org.
We will not take you away, turn you away from that. So,
right.
And by the way, speaking of money, I know our Post 61. We have got our scholarships on our website there. Fill out the applications for folks if you're a veteran or a family member of a veteran. And
I realize the paperwork says 2022 on it, but it doesn't make any difference. Those papers are they work anytime.
We've got cash set aside that's specifically earmarked for scholarships.
Yeah.
We can't do anything else with it. That's what it's for.
I'm supposed to give away 4. I could give away as many as 6 at this point. So hey, you're leaving money on a table.
Yeah, go to RoswellLegion.org and you'll see the application and the requirements and everything there, and get them filled out. Basically, if you're pursuing a STEM-related career field
or first responder,
or which kind of it's all first, which is pretty much everything. Because electricians, guess what? STEM. Any trade school, STEM.
Pretty much.
It's a pretty broad category. And like you said, you yourself or direct family member.
You got to write a 500-word essay. I could do that in about 15 minutes.
Well, going to college, you might need to if you don't have the essay writing skills, you use this as a project.
Well, you got to write on some aspect of the Constitution.
Oh yeah.
You have to have some military in your family's past. And that's it. Yeah. And you're leaving $2,500 out there. I realize that there's a lot of tuition assistance these days, but this goes towards books,
I've
any
never-
fees, the equipment, materials.
I've never heard a college student say, "No, I got enough money. I'm good."
The only thing we don't pay for, of course, is your partying and your.
That's on your own dime.
We don't pay for food or housing, but the rest of it, fair game.
You need laptops. You need books.
Yeah,
you need,
any
you
of
need,
that.
You need to pay for class. You need to pay for.
You know,
the equipment to do
laptops
the
cost
class.
about $1,000, so that's
easy.
that's about half of that 2,500 right there.
And usually the super El Cheapo ones for $200 or something are going to get
You don't want
cut the
that.
mustard for what you need.
You drop it one time and you're out for 6 months.
Look at it funny. It got a virus.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But absolutely, please, RoswellLegion.org is that website. And then, of course, if you want to learn anything about any aspect of our post or what we support or Wreaths Across America, if you want to start pitching
we
now
do
for
that.
Wreaths
We
Across
do that
America, there's a link there
365.
to buy wreaths there if you want to. Like you said, we're putting flags out this weekend. Well, in December, we want to put wreaths out. And here's the thing. We keep finding more veterans' graves. And like you said, we got about 300 there down at South Park. I don't know. There's 3,000 veteran graves there.
Oh yeah,
right.
We would love to at every cemetery in town, every single veteran's grave have a wreath on it during the holidays.
That
We're
would
not
be the
close
goal.
to that goal yet.
No.
But we'd love if you go to our thing, you can start buying wreaths. You can buy. I think
Yeah, RoswellLegion.org.
I think they're up to 17
bucks or something.
now. Yeah.
It's really not that much money.
Well, and you can buy like 5-pack or you can even dedicate to a loved one or something. There's all of that information's on the Wreaths Across America page there. But please check it out when you get a chance. And come out this Saturday. Come out to meet us starting at 9 a.m. out at Memory Lawn for the cleanup. And like I said, we'll start placing flags here. And then don't forget Monday. Like you said, if the early birds will come on out to Post 61s to Memory Lawn. That's at 9 a.m. And then at 11:30, come on out to South Park for Post 28's Memorial Day celebration or remembrance. I
The
guess is more
ceremony
right
on
word.
Monday for 61's at 10.
10 o'clock. I'm sorry. Did I say 9 o'clock? I meant 10. 9 o'clock this Saturday.
9 o'clock to
on
put out
Monday.
the flags. 10 o'clock for the ceremony, and then
And
of course we need to pick up the flags again Tuesday night or Monday night at 6.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the wind will take them. And we'll lose.
Yeah, and we won't-
I'll
we
be in
won't
the
get that
farmer's
out.
yard.
Yeah, and bring out the kids because, like Louis was saying, bring out the students because you can take a name off of one of the headstones and do a little bit of research and make it a story because each veteran has their own story.
Absolutely.
They each live their own lives.
Every grave has it out there at the story,
Exactly.
but every veteran, you're absolutely right.
and these are
That's a life.
these are local, so
Yep.
learn something about them.
Yeah.
And it's a bit in the future, but Veterans Day is going to be on November 9th this year.
Okay.
So we've already started the ball rolling on that. So obviously we're going to need fundage. So RoswellLegion.org, help us out.
Please, please. And by the way, too, like you were talking about, the history and stuff. When you get over to South Park Cemetery there, too, you can, you see the veterans and all that, but, our local founding fathers and things, they're all buried out there, too. When you see,
It's a fascinating
when you
place.
see names of streets around town, and you
They're
see,
in the cemetery, too.
these certain names, and then you're like, oh, this guy in the cemetery's got the same name as that street. Wonder how that happened.
Right.
That's part of that history.
And some of those headstones go back into the 1800s. I was looking at it, I
Absolutely.
was like, wow.
You want
there's
to
a
see
lot of
Roswell
there.
history, believe it or not, you learn a lot at a cemetery.
Yeah, that's true.
And so,
And it's a nice shady place, so.
So please, come out, honor our veterans, honor those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, but maybe spend a few minutes just seeing the history of this town and seeing.
My
who
wife
the
wants
people.
to remind everybody that us older folks can't bend over very well. So,
This is
So bring
true.
the kids.
we need
We need
people,
young backs
younger
for
backs
the-
to put the flags out.
Or long screwdrivers
Yeah.
with a grab 'em thingy that you.
Yeah, I just bring
There
my
you go.
drill.
There you go.
It's a lot easier.
Is it power drill?
Yeah, power drill with the extended drill.
Please tell me you double fisted. Like you're like. Please tell me that's what's going
He
on.
is a
Well, it's a lot
Vietnam
easier
vet.
than a screwdriver
We're
for me.
smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I was an Air Force guy, so I work smarter, not hard.
There you go.
Yeah, but you just bring some ordnance. you know.
That's true. That's true. We
Yeah,
make
break
one big
through
hole.
that break through that caliche.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I was back in the day. You saw me running. You better be running right with me. 'Cause things are about
Well,
to
you
get
dealt
bad.
with ordnance, so yeah.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
You know, this is one of those things that it's my only military story. But when I was in Italy, when we were bombing Kosovo and all that, and so we're there on the Aviano Air Base on their hardened shelters and all that stuff. And so as a bomb loader, I'm a 3-person. I drove what's called the bomb lift truck, which is a green, it's called a jammer. But anyway, it moves the bomb to wherever we need to move it to. And so as a 3-person in our crew of 3, my job was to drive that and in charge of munitions.
Well, that sounds like fun.
So, you know, when we're loading bombs and everything, my bombs are sitting over on the trailer over here. I've got to put them on a jet that's over at this end of the flight line. So I go and pick it up. And once it's secured, I can travel without someone holding on to it and everything once we strap it down and everything. So my 2-man straps it down, and then I just hoof it up the tarmac over to where our jet is.
Right.
When you're sitting on a little jammer with a 2,000-pound live bomb sitting on the end of it, people tend to get out of your way. And I noticed that.
I don't know why.
It was funny. I'd see expediters who would get out of the way of nobody. Like they're just, you know, being harump. I'm sitting there with that. All of a sudden, even cars with stars on it, staff cars, we're like, get out of that guy's way. He's sitting there. So, you know what?
I wonder why.
You drive around with a 2,000-pound laser guided bomb, people tend to get out of your way.
I bet they do.
A lesson I learned in the United States here.
Yes.
But anyway, please come and you know come celebrate our elite. We have a great you know in the last 10-15 years our veteran organizations really took a hit. Our VFWs, our American Legion, certainly you know but right now it's revitalized. Our VFWs going strong now and they're doing well. They just had an amazing golf tournament over the weekend. They're doing great. They're looking for a new home as well, and they're about to separate from the church to go find their own home.
And Post 61 is very excited about
Post 28, of course, you guys have been going and doing your thing for years now, and going strong over at your facility there. And now we got Post 61 here too. So veteran organizations and veteran representations going pretty good here in Roswell right now. If you're a veteran, there's lots of different places for you to get involved here. You know, both of our Legionnaire posts would love to have you. Obviously, your VFW, if you qualify, you know, they're all looking for new members. And to be honest, join them. Because even if you can't come to the meetings, and we were talking about this with the VFW last week, or yesterday, by you joining these organizations, there's strength in numbers. So when the American Legion goes to Congress to talk about veteran issues, when the VFW goes to Congress to talk about veterans issues, they come to these people saying we're 1 million strong. And so by you signing up for that, or 2 million,
close to 2 now.
You know, I think VFW is about 1 million or something around. But they that carries weight. So even if you're like, well, I don't necessarily want to go to the meetings every week and get involved, by supporting and being a member of a Legionnaire post or a VFW post or both, does help veterans across the world. Even if you can't necessarily be a part of all the meetings and all the. We'd love to have you do that too, but if you're
these organizations are so much more than old guys on bar stools.
Yeah,
and 61's not even going to have a bar, so that doesn't apply to us.
And so, but by you signing up and being a member of these organizations, you're giving them ammo to fight for you in Congress. That's what you're doing. And so, please, all you veterans out there, even if you're, well, I don't want to necessarily come and hang out and be a part of the meetings. Come to one meeting, and at least talk to our veterans, come and see if because yes, your membership would be very beneficial to not only the local posts here, but to veterans in general.
And some of your dues stay here in Roswell to help veterans.
Absolutely, so I know Post 28, Post 61. Yeah, this stuff, you know, the dues and things that goes to local veterans things here. Right. If you know, when a veteran comes into town that you know their car broke down or something, you know, usually. Between our veterans organizations, someone rallies together to help them out and do that kind of stuff. So, when you contribute and donate and be a member, you're contributing to that.
And I'm going to be spending Friday morning over at the Roswell Livestock, and I'm going to be putting on a table. It's a poppy table. It's to remember our veterans.
Memorial Day weekend.
And all of the funds that go into the Poppy Fund go to help veterans and their families with welfare issues. Like this last disbursement, we helped a veteran who needed a little help remodeling his bathroom so it could be handicap accessible for him.
Awesome.
So all of that stays here when you donate.
Yep. So that's why you get, we ask for your membership.
Right.
Even if you can't commit the time per se, your membership does help. And it does help make a difference for
Well,
when
and
people
we've
need
built ramps for people. We've, fixed their carports.
We get unique
done all
requests from
kinds
time to time. I'm sure, Louis, you've seen quite a few crazy ones
Yes.
over the years there too. But that's what the veterans do, and so I'm so glad that we have not one but two Legion posts and a VFW post, and of course our Chaves County Veteran and other groups that are all doing well and are they can do better. Obviously, we're all looking to do better, but it's great to see that they're growing again. They're starting. There's people meeting. There's people, there's people
And we're
involved.
excited to help. So give us a chance to help.
Yeah, absolutely. So come out this Saturday. I know we threw a lot of information at you, but if you're confused, we'll come out 9 a.m. Saturday, and we'll learn you the rest.
Come help put out flags and pick up trash.
Absolutely. And of course, you can check out RoswellLegion.org. I know Post 28 has a Facebook page. Do they have any other website or anything?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so you go.
But they do have a Facebook
So
page.
go to just type in post American Legion Post 28 Roswell.
right.
It should pop right up, and you can like and follow or shoot your questions and everything there. Because I know if you need a meeting space, things like that, Post 28 does offer their facility for that for a civic organization or group that needs a meeting space. You can come and support our veterans by renting out their hall, and that's how they make some money to help our veterans here through Post 28. So,
and we do provide our hall for veterans for funerals.
Okay.
And so
some veterans that need a place to
right
to
do a reception or something.
28 will welcome you with open arms to help you get that.
They're a veteran. We open our doors.
Absolutely. Maybe do the 21 gun salute outside, not in the hall.
Yeah.
that might
That poor roof.
raise a few alarms. Good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we guys wanted to share that for whatever reason we
No, I
spaced
don't
out?
wanna
and skipped
overwhelm
out?
them.
Well,
we hit them a lot. We did.
I do want to recognize the Roswell Honor Guard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
And they do so much for our community. They do so much for different organizations. And they will be at our activity again.
Okay.
On Memorial Day at
Excellent.
11:30.
So they'll be out of
the
South Park.
Roswell National Honor Guard will be there. And also want to recognize two gentlemen that always play taps at all of these organizations.
And they play on a bugle.
They do.
Oh, they're just
And they do it
wonderful.
well.
Like an actual bugle. That's hard.
Yeah,
You know?
Mr. Trujillo
Yeah.
and Mr. Brady.
Yeah.
I know Louis Brady was an instructor at Eastern, and many of the community members know him. He was a school board member, and Louis Brady has a great talent.
Awesome.
He and Jake Trujillo, they're Vietnam, and they do a great job.
They're the reason many of our ceremonies are a lot classier. Between them and the honor guard, they're the reason these are classy, very well done ceremonies.
Yes.
Because of them.
For sure.
Especially in a world where to get something from a United States service organization, like military branch, they'd have to come a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we don't have a military base right in our backyard not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, it's so
Cannon's the closest.
Yeah, Cannon or Holloman, I guess, depending
I
on
guess.
which way you're going. But either way, it's not easy for them to do that. So our honor guard and stuff really have a bigger role out in the rural parts out here where there not necessarily is a military unit from a assigned base that can come and take care of that. The head fell off anyway. You didn't do that. It was.
I was wondering, Louis, about your past.
Don't do
suddenly,
that one.
yeah.
He still got his head, but that one's good. So, but please come
You
out.
have a
Please
problem
get
with your
involved.
mother or something? Just curious.
Oh man. Well,
Going headless here.
That's right. But thank you guys. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Actually, I think we'll be on next week for our normal vision here.
Our
And
regularly scheduled
Let me know
programming.
when if Commander or anybody's got some stuff for to come on the radio anytime. They're more than welcome to come on and let the world know about it. So
Well, we appreciate all you do for us. Thank you very much.
I'll keep doing it because I am you. I'm a veteran. So I know what makes you guys mad and what makes you happy, because it's the same thing here.
Yes.
Just got to get through election season here.
Oh, yeah. June 5th is going to be my Shangri-La. I might go outside and sing in the rain naked if it rains.
June 6th, D-Day.
I lost weight, so I look better naked.
Wow.
Not that good, but better.
I have to check with Kim on that.
All right, it is 9:56. Couple political ads before we get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
In a time where humans and technology collide.
Talk FM 106.5.
I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump's lawyers are not giving up. They're trying again to have the Florida classified documents case tossed out.
The Trump legal team argues that the indictment fails to clearly articulate a crime and instead amounts to a personal and political attack against the former president. The motion is one of several that Trump's lawyers have filed to dismiss the classified documents case, some of which have already been denied. A trial was scheduled to begin this week, but has been delayed. Trump has pleaded not guilty and denied any wrongdoing. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Property and lives torn apart by powerful storms that raked parts of Iowa and Wisconsin. Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Alex Dinkler says Greenfield in southwestern Des Moines was really slammed.
Sadly, we can't confirm that there have been fatalities with this tornado. Also, injuries have been sustained by residents here in the Greenfield area.
Israel is outraged about this, saying it's a reward for Hamas terrorism. Ireland, Norway, and Spain announcing formal recognition of an independent Palestinian state.
Norway, Spain, and Ireland hope their decision will shift the diplomatic dial. Ireland's Prime Minister, Simon Harris, said the aim was to support a political pathway to peace through a two-state solution. Norway's Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Støre, said peace in the Middle East required a Palestinian state. Spain's Premier, Pedro Sanchez, said he hoped other Western countries would follow suit and boost efforts to secure a ceasefire. Hamas welcomed the decision, claiming it had been prompted by what it called its brave resistance. Israel's Foreign Minister, Israel Katz, said the decision undermined his country's sovereignty and security.
And that's the BBC's James Landale. On Wall Street, the Dow down 18 points, the NASDAQ 8 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Them is Holy Bible. That's a horrifying.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Following Harmony's service, the coffins were loaded onto a semi-truck and a procession held through the streets of the city down to Freedom Square, where Raisi had given speeches in the past. Iran's theocracy has declared a period of mourning, encouraging people to attend public mournings. Many attend en masse, while others take part out of patriotism. For Iran's Shiite theocracy, mass demonstrations have been crucial for demonstrating the legitimacy of their leadership. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Reports that Russia could revise the borders of its territorial waters in the Baltic region. Lithuania's foreign minister calling it an obvious escalation that demands an appropriately firm response. Townhall.com. An easy victory for the Fulton County District Attorney in the Georgia Democratic primary.
Here in Fulton County, Trump prosecutor D.A. Fonnie Willis winning the Democrat primary. Willis faced a challenger, a former prosecutor who's run before but has failed to gain any traction. Willis will now face Republican Courtney Kramer, a former legal intern in the Trump administration. Fulton County voters heavily lean Democrat. Trump's trial is on hold as an appeals court weighs whether Willis should be dismissed and the case dropped. Laura Winters, Atlanta, Georgia.
The families of 19 of the victims of the Uvalde Elementary School shooting in Texas scheduled a news conference ahead of the second anniversary of one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. The attack at Robb Elementary School killed 19 fourth graders and 2 teachers in 2022. Several lawsuits have previously been filed. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I've voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
Have you ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for the Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
During his time in the New Mexico legislature, Senator Greg Nybert has been instrumental blocking legislation from the liberal progressives in Santa Fe that would harm our way of life in this part of the state. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for Senate District 27 who has the proven ability and expertise to fight against Santa Fe needlessly imposing their will upon us. Greg Nybert is a lifelong resident of southeast New Mexico and knows this part of the state well. Greg is for strong border control, Second Amendment rights, pro-life, and local control of our school board, and opposes illegal immigration, lenient criminal laws, and restrictive regulations against agriculture and the oil and gas industry. Please vote for Greg Nybert, a proven and experienced conservative champion for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. What? Yeah, we got some commercials. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week.
Halfway day.
Everyone's thinking about things other than work and school and stuff, I think.
Starting to kind of plan and apply for the weekend.
Yeah, graduations this weekend.
Mine is I actually have one today and then one tomorrow.
So Hunter today and Rhiannon tomorrow?
I don't know. I need to check with her teacher, but she swears up and down that she has school on Friday. I'm like, honey, I'm pretty sure after you graduate, they're done with you. I think that's how this works.
That's one of my favorite lines from Fat Albert. It was Rudy, the young one. And he looked at one, I don't remember who he's talking to or whatever, but he goes, man, you're like school on Saturdays.
No class.
No class.
Yeah.
I love that line.
That was always fun. Hey.
Yeah, those things. Between that when they rushed to watch the Brown Hornet commercial, their TV show on, that was their after-school activity.
I broke out the
Mushmouth
the other day, and I was trying to explain where it came from.
Yeah. I always thought it was a lampshade. It turned out it was a stocking cap that was on his head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, well, it was just junk from the junkyard, so I thought he just grabbed it.
It's a stocking cap.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Cut eye holes, because nobody cuts eye holes in a lampshade.
It took me a few years to figure that one out. I think that's our guess.
Yeah.
So.
I think we're good.
But, happy Wednesday.
Yes.
That was the whole point.
That's all we're really trying to say.
Fat Albert there. But, that's not available anywhere on TV.
I would imagine it's probably hard to come by.
But weirdly enough, The Cosby Show is. Like BET or one of those channels, CMT, one of them around that area on my TV guide. I will go on the weekends and occasionally see a marathon of The Cosby Show on there.
This is something that I've learned in 2024 is if you have a desire to watch a thing for free, usually you can track it down somewhere.
Yeah.
Like if you just go to Google and type in Fat Albert watch online free, you'll find it.
I'm sure.
It'll find you.
It will find me.
Yes.
But
it's probably bounced around like Freevee or Tubi or one of those.
But as much stuff as they just, carpet bomb on TV nowadays, and you're like everything from older, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I like them sometimes, there'll be marathons of Three's Company on, or even like shows from, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Not even like your Big Bang Theories and more modern, like older shows.
What always blows me away is where do these Freevee, whatever, how do they have a budget? Like
advertising, I guess.
Well, I guess the ads, but they have a whole new series coming out on Freevee, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's the Rise and Fall of Diddy, which
that should be good.
I'm intrigued to watch because I was there for most of it.
Well, and the whole most recent things with the video of the hotel.
Oh, God, that's damning.
And then he has that weird shirtless apology video.
Yeah. Hey, America, I'm just sitting in my cabana. I'm going to lick my lips a lot and talk real slow in whispered tones.
It doesn't jive. It's not creepy. I mean, come on.
The internet, if the internet's taught me anything, it's taught me that it is next to impossible to apologize on video by yourself alone successfully. I've watched so many people crash and burn.
Well, especially after the video of which he's apologizing for, you can't walk that one back.
Yeah, you really can't. That's a tough one to walk back.
Yeah, that's not like when I tripped or it was an accident or it was a misunderstanding. It's hard to justify any of this.
And I'm not trying to be his PR coach, but this is when you lean in and be like, well, it's clear I'm not going to be a kicker for the Browns anytime soon.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to walk that one back.
That's a bit of a tough one. But yeah, I've watched so many of those. There was one that happened. It was I want to say like last year or early this year.
Mm-hmm.
This girl who used to have like she was like a character on YouTube or like on social media. A lot of stuff came out about like her past and how she was like grooming certain fans of hers and so on. So her apology was to break out her ukulele and play a song that she wrote called "The Toxic Gossip Train." And basically, it was a non-apology wherein she said, everybody's free to talk their nonsense and get on the toxic gossip train. She got murdered online for that.
As she should be.
As you should. You don't apologize with a ukulele. This is clearly Barry Sachs territory.
And not even about apologize. It was her defending herself.
Yeah, it was a non-apology.
Not an apology.
She's like, I'm sorry, but don't do that.
Right. Yeah, that never works. That never works well. Even if you're either sorry or you're not. And I'm learning that lesson as an adult myself too, because there's times like you have an argument, it's like I'll do I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but you did this, and this. It's like I got to stop doing that.
Yeah, stop predicating it. Ugh. I'm the worst at that.
I am too. I'm very bad at it. I need to be better, and I'm trying. Some days I'm good at it. Some days I fall off that wagon pretty hard. So
I'm the same way. Mine is, I'm sorry, it's just.
Yeah.
Like, I apologize. It's just this was happening, and so it's. I'll find other elements rather than.
And I think it's just human nature. I think that's just kind of in our embedded in us that to do it that way. So we must evolve. That's the point. Lesson learned.
Indeed.
Get off my grass.
But the best thing to do is to track your haters back down and then offer them a chocolate-covered pretzel.
An egg in this
It's a little bit melty, but it is exquisite.
It is good. These are my favorite.
Bavarian.
I got some, speaking of pretzels, and our guest is here, so I probably shouldn't get too in-depth on my pretzels. But
well,
I've got a bag of pretzels at home that I've been anxious to try, but I haven't tried, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I found it at Farmer's. It's a bag, and it's not a full family-size bag. It's snacks. It's bigger than snack size, but smaller.
Bigger than a bread box, right?
And it is bacon cheeseburger flavored pretzels.
What?
Yeah.
What brand? Snyder's?
No, it's a homespun brand. I don't even remember.
Bacon cheeseburger pretzels.
I got them sitting in my closet right now.
All right, well,
unopened.
In your closet. It's where I sit in
Should I just
silence.
bring them in and we'll just eat them? Maybe
I'm down to try them for sure.
I'll bring them in because I keep sitting there and I keep forgetting they're there. And I'm like, I need to try those, but I'm not in the mood for pretzels right now.
You're really hard pressed to put cheeseburger flavor into a bread product.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to nail down cheeseburger flavor.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just like mustard and like cheese.
Yeah, I'm very and pull back the curtain. I'm a pretzel. I've talked of this. I love pretzels, particularly soft pretzels and all that. One thing I'm not a fan of, and I know you are, so you're probably gonna be mad at me for this, is like the Herb's mustard.
Really?
Pretzel pieces.
I do love those. Yeah, like the Snyder's of Hanover.
Snyder's.
Honey mustard.
I'm not a fan of the mustard one.
I love mustard.
They have a funky taste to them that I just don't like.
I like a nice mustard dust on a pretzel.
Yeah, it's just got a funk to it. It's not my.
We've probably had this discussion, but how do you feel of Dots? The Dots dust, because that's a specific season blend itself.
I'm trying to think if I've had it.
Have you not?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. Oh yeah, I've had
Dots, the blue bag. Yeah,
I like the red bag.
Okay.
The OG. I don't think I've had the blue bag.
Okay.
To be honest, but the red bag is fine. But in all fairness, like if you give me pretzels and cheese, I'll inhale the whole bag.
Right.
Those I stop. I'm like after a handful or two, I'm like I'm good.
So you don't go mustard on a soft pretzel either.
Yes, unless there's cheese.
Okay, so you're just all over the map.
I will do all.
You're just hard to nail down.
like a lot of times, like if you go to like a restaurant and they'll give you like soft pretzel sticks or bites or something. A lot of times they'll give you mustard and cheese. I like that. I do both. I will be cheese one time, mustard the next. And so people ask me because they're like, well, if you're East Coast, you must like mustard and West Coast cheese. I'm like, bring it all to the party. I will take all of the above. But those Hanover mustard Snyder ones, they have a weird taste to them that just doesn't.
It's been a long time since I've had me one of those. You just put a craving on me.
Let's get into the meat of the show.
Indeed.
As opposed to the pretzel of
the amuse-bouche.
Yes. Let me give you the rundown here. Here in just a few, we'll get you update with the weather. And then after a bevy of commercials, Lori Schatz will join us, getting us update what's happening at Desert Willow Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, and get an update on what's going on there. Of course, if you're not familiar with what that is, well, stick around. Lori will tell you about that, too. So that's coming up here in just a few. Later on, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, some more ads, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do that, let's take a gander at your weather. Spoiler alert, it's going to be nicer today, cooler.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Not much going on except for the hot temperatures, especially tomorrow and Friday. We'll be in the upper 80s to low 90s today. A little bit breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine with high pressure overhead. Clear and upper 50s for the overnight hours, and then we're in the mid 90s for the afternoon high on Thursday. Getting a little bit windy, but we get lots of sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 61 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds are a-blowing out of the north at 20 miles per hour. Sunny and 87 for a high today. We're not even going to hit the 90s, so enjoy that. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour, shifting to the south this afternoon. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 58 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, we do have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in beginning at 11 a.m., remaining in effect through 8 p.m., That's because the winds will be up a little bit tomorrow. Sunny and 96 for a high, back in the mid-90s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Tomorrow night, we are looking at mostly clear skies, windy with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Southwest winds 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Winds expected to drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Friday, sunny and highs near 90 expected. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And for your Memorial Day weekend on Saturday, sunny and windy with a high of 95, sunny and a high of 94 on Sunday. And for Memorial Day Monday, sunny and 94 for a high there as well. All right, 8:21, we're going to take a 4-minute break, and then Lori will join us from Desert Willow Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Why are outside special interest groups attacking conservative Candy Spence-Ezell? The PAC attacking Candy Spence-Ezell is funded by pro-marijuana politicians from Albuquerque and Las Cruces, who recently voted for free college for illegal immigrants and putting feminine products in boys' bathrooms in our schools. This effort is being directed by the disgraced senator who currently occupies this seat, who can't win another election after getting caught cheating on his wife with a teenager in Santa Fe. But he can't let go of power, so he's desperate to have his own puppet candidate win this seat. That's why they're lying about Candy Spence-Ezell's long-standing conservative record. Don't let them get away with flat-out lies. Candy Spence-Ezell has an unmatched record of fighting for our rights and our way of life. Get out to vote early, and when you do, vote for conservative Republican Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate.
Paid for by Candy Spence-Ezell for State Senate District 32. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop invites you to move on in and check out the fantastic selection of threads, fabrics, and patterns. Take advantage of a huge sale on Brother sewing machines. If you just want to tune up on your own machine, bring it on over for in-house maintenance. And with free lessons at the Calico Cow, you can learn from some of the absolute best. Let's keep the tradition and art of sewing going. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell, right behind Farley's. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
Michelle Lujan Grisham has been trying to keep a stranglehold on Roswell and southeast New Mexico for years. She wants to control our industries, jobs, and freedoms, but does not seem to want to control crime or our border. Enough is enough. This is Jared Hembry, and in my first session in Santa Fe, I stood up to her and the radical progressives. We must continue to stand for our principles. Please stand with me for a better, stronger New Mexico. Vote on or before June 4th for Jared Hembry.
Paid for by Jared Hembry for state representative.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Get our lowest prices of the year and exceptional trade-in values right now during the Memorial Day sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude. And this week, Roswell Ford needs to sell 37 new and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. Get huge savings on new Fords with rates as low as 0% for 66 months with no payments till July 4th. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Get huge savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Lori Schott's back with us today, mostly talking Desert Willow. I imagine there might be a few other koalas or something we can slip in there as well. But Desert Willow.
Desert Willow. That's the main focus of today's Desert Willow Wildlife Rehabilitation Center.
Yes.
So,
which before we talk about what they got going on here, for folks not familiar, give a little bit of background. They are kind of your wildlife rehab center for. I mean, they're located in Carlsbad, and they got the amazing facility there. And if you're in Carlsbad, I highly recommend you plan a visit there with your family. Your kids will love it. Everybody will love it. But they service the entire state of New Mexico. When like people get an animal that's like a wildlife animal, like a hawk or an owl or something.
An owl, a turtle, a squirrel, a rattlesnake.
Yeah, they come to Desert Willow to get rehabbed, and if they are able to go back in the wild, they will.
Correct. And
but
if they aren't,
then they become residents of Desert Willow.
We either make them educational animals, or we find them a home. A lot of the several of the animals at the Living Desert.
Yeah.
Then you go there, they were rehabbed with us, and they
do a lot
can't
of
survive
veterinary
on their
services
own.
for like the zoo and various places that have animals that aren't dogs and cats.
And shout out to the Roswell Zoo. They are like a collection place for us.
Yeah.
When you take the animal to the zoo, at least the last time I went, so I may be talking out of school, they don't have a resident vet. Right.
Okay.
So if you take wildlife there, they call us.
Desert Willow comes
and then
in to
usually
help out.
I go and get it and drive it down to Carlsbad.
Makes sense.
And yes, we sit in Carlsbad. I fight this all the time. And a lot of times with the people that we want to advertise with or we want an article from, and they're like, but you sit in Carlsbad. Why would we do it here?
Because it services all of New Mexico.
Right. We service southeast New Mexico. We are the only rehab. We get animals from Alamogordo. We get it from West Texas. Española is the next one that you have, and then Albuquerque. And so, like, if there's a bear, we don't have the facilities to home a bear. We have the knowledge to take care of the bear. So at this point, we're not able. Right. So we transport them up to a place that could easily take care of them.
Have the facilities. And
so we take care of all of that. So if you have a bird that's in your barn or a screech, I mean, I've transported screech owls, snakes, unfortunately. All kinds of squirrels. I know. I had one on my front porch, and I called our outreach gentleman. And he's like, "We'll just put it in a bucket, and we can." I'm like, "Put it in a bucket."
You put it in the bucket. That thing bites.
Right. I'm like, my door is shut. I'm not going back out there. And that's the other connection here too, is that Robert graduated from Roswell High.
Oh, very cool.
So our outreach coordinator comes from Roswell.
Yeah.
Sammy, who is our founder, she comes from Carlsbad. She, to get a little background, is at 13 years old, her mother was very advocate about the wildlife.
Okay.
And she
so that's where
got
the passion
that bug.
came from.
Right.
Yeah.
So she applied for the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center to be a thing for the first permit. And the state of New Mexico gave her one at 13. Nowhere on the form did it say, how old are you? Are you 18 or over, right?
Government in action.
And let me tell you, it says it now. Because when they found out that she was
the
13,
reason why.
right, she's the reason why. And then come almost full circle is that she is now the state veterinarian.
But to be honest, thank God they gave her one at 13.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
Because look where we're at now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So
that's a happy accident right there.
And it just started off as a rehab, and then we have two facets now. We have a rehab center, and then we have this outreach program. And the outreach program will come to schools. It will come to your garden club. I mean, it's been at the fair.
Yeah, matter
it's been at the UFO.
If you were out at Yucca Blossom
this
weekend,
out at Yucca Blossom.
Desert Willow was out there.
Malia, our little pageant girl in town here that is now, what is she, Miss United States teen cheerleader?
She is involved in so many things. It's hard to pinpoint her down to one thing. It's just so many stuff she's involved with. Well, she's going to actually start
working rehab this summer. So she does the outreach part. So now she's going to the hospital to figure that out.
Because she's young, obviously, and she's learning her passions in life.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously through service, and I think she's just kind of doing it all till she finds her niche kind of thing.
Exactly.
And so that's
she
cool.
helps Kiwanis out, so that can be my little bridge over here to Kiwanis. So if you didn't know, Kiwanis had the ribbon cutting for the all-inclusive park on Monday.
Yes.
Woohoo! So if you go out there, you can. I mean, the park has been open.
Sure.
But this was the official opening.
And
we had a lot of dignitaries there.
The park is not done.
No, it's not done.
It's open and available for use, but there are so many more plans as far as landscaping and amenities and things.
Shade.
And shade.
That's all I ever hear is, why would you build it? Okay, first off, let me stop. Why did we build it?
Yeah.
We were told, we raised money.
Mm-hmm.
The state gave money. The legislators gave money.
Sure.
The Autism Society gave money. And the design was made by Roswell. I want to say bureaucrats of City Hall, engineers,
city planners, whatever.
City planners.
Yeah.
So we didn't say, let's have shade here and let's have a water feature over here.
You had no say in the architecture of it. Yeah.
Now, when it was designed the first time, they didn't understand the concept of autism and all-inclusive. And they were like, well, we want to have indigenous cactus. And we're like, no, these are autistic kids.
Right.
Or any kids. Like, why would you have
plants laying around the...
Well, because they're indigenous to... They can go out in county properties.
So are scorpions. We don't want them in there either.
Or rattlesnakes. So that was kind of like, oh yeah, this might not be appropriate.
Yeah.
So if you walk in there, I don't know if you've ever been in there and walked in there, it's just really cushy. So if a kid's running and trips and falls,
absolutely,
they're probably not going to get hurt.
It's a lot softer.
It's not wood
spot.
chips. It's not tires grated
up.
It's
not those little rocks that we had when we were kids.
Yeah, and it's not metal equipment that's hotter than Hades.
The blazing sun cooks it. Yeah.
So it's a super, super nice park.
Sure.
It has a fence around it because autistic children and even adults have a tendency to be runners.
Absolutely.
So this way, the parents
it's a safe place
can
where you
sit on a bench and there's their kid and they can play and run and do whatever they
and just say turn them loose and read a book. You know?
And so now the second feature will be shade, trees, picnic tables, and that will be around the outside of it.
And for folks that don't know, this was years in the making as far
5
as
years.
Yeah, planning and raising the funds, and then COVID hit during the middle of that, which, that changed everybody's everything. So
Right.
So to even have the park available right now is a good thing.
Mhm.
And it's evolving. Yes. Is it 100% amazing for everybody right now? No, because it's still being
Work in
added
progress.
to. It's still
Work in progress.
Yes, it's going to be once this next phase gets in the shade and all that stuff. But in the meantime, just plan accordingly. Sunscreen, umbrellas, lots of water. Just plan accordingly when you do your trip.
And there's a water feature.
Yeah.
I almost went in on Monday.
You put it this way, it's probably a lot of people.
Yeah,
that are
Monday was the first day we hit 100 degrees, and we were there from like 10 to quarter to 11, so it was only a 45-minute, and it was great. We had legislators, so Greg Nybert, who is a Kiwanis, who also helped us tremendously get outlay money from the legislators. They were there. He was there. We had 2 past governors of Southwest District of Kiwanis.
Okay.
So they came over for it. We had the national CEO of the Autism Society come from Washington, D.C. Of course, Chad was there from the city. Jim Burris was very instrumental. The Autism's Krista, and I'm sorry, Krista, I'm not going to remember your last name. She was here. It was her dream like 10 years ago for her child that maybe we could have this park. So she was kind of the catalyst that went to Albuquerque and talked to them, who talked to Burge, who talked to Greg. I mean, it just, it took a whole village to get this done.
And this is that prime example of if you want a community that's nice, and you have to invest in it yourself. That's,
and you don't give up.
If you're waiting for elected officials to do all these things, you're going to be waiting forever. If you want these kind of things in our community, it takes a spearhead of people like you're talking about here to go to the meetings, to put the bees in people's bonnets, to get legislators to be into their meetings, to get funding for this kind of stuff and to fight for this stuff. But unless the public doesn't get involved, then guess what? None of these things happen. If you're just sitting on Facebook saying, we need this, we need that.
Or sitting on Facebook saying, why would you spend all this money on X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
You know what? Where were you when we were planning? Where were you when, you want to be part of the solution?
Mm-hmm.
Join Kiwanis. We meet the first and third Tuesday of every month at Cerritos, and we will welcome anyone to come out and be part of us and give their suggestions on any project you'd like to do.
Absolutely.
And if we can, we will help. If you need hands to help, if you need monetary help, if you want to be part of a group that's looking for how we can better our community, we're those people. So come out and see us. So there's my membership hat. I can take that off now.
And the food's pretty good at Cerritos too.
Yeah,
so
it's
even
not so bad.
If you hear nothing you like, you had a good lunch.
Exactly. And the first 2 times you come, lunch is free.
Exactly.
So
a free good lunch.
That's even better.
I got a feeling you'll meet some people you like and you'll get involved. But yes, bare minimum, you got nothing to lose. You got a free lunch out of it.
That's right.
So come be a part of the next meeting, and usually every meeting they have a guest speaker that kind of talks about what their whatever they're involved with.
And this park is only the second in New Mexico. We are the only one in South. I mean, it's Rio Rancho and us. We're the only 2 that have all-inclusive parks that are recognized by the state.
And I think that's going to be the future, where all these parks will eventually become an all-inclusive park.
Right.
I think that's the end game. At some point when we know a playground, we know it as an all-inclusive
What's
playground.
really cool is that Phoenix, they have one too, but their grand opening is June 1, and the Kiwanis helped build it. But it's like, Roswell got it done first. And they're in our Southwest District.
I hope there's that shade, because in Arizona, it's really hot.
Right. In Phoenix, they're even hotter.
But anyway, we did get sidetracked with Desert Willow here. We do want to
I did want to point that out.
Yeah, but absolutely. But please, and so come enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then when you're done there, go cool off in the splash pads.
Oh, yeah. Press the button, just stand there. It just comes up. It doesn't. I don't like to be splashed. So I don't like it down. So I thought I could easily stand here and I don't care if I get wet now.
That's right.
But But I'm also on the board of Desert Willow Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, and we've talked about them. They do sit in Carlsbad, but we service all of South New Mexico, and actually all of New Mexico if need be. We all work with the rehabs.
If a certain animal's up in Farmington and there's only one place to bring them to, guess where it's going?
Yep. So we do have the gala, and that's in November. We've done it now for 5 years.
And that's kind of the major fundraising event for Desert Willow. They have other ways to raise income, but that's kind of the one that it's their Black Friday is
correct.
The one that pays.
We write grants like every nonprofit. But we are trying to. Sammy has been very generous with her time and her monies, and we are trying to make this stand on its own now.
Good.
So it is, and you may know this from being on boards. It is growing pains on who paid for this before, who owns this. How do we? It's almost a divorce, but a friendly one because she's still. Very much a part of us and wants us to succeed.
It's
yet
all part of
she's
the growth
trying
of
to
the
let
center.
everybody do. It's not me anymore. I have my own job to worry about the state.
Well, at some point, lives change, lives happen, things happen, and if you want something as important as Desert Willow to go on long after you, kind of a legacy. You got to let the reins go sometimes.
Right, exactly. So we're in the process of that. And doing that, we're trying to come up with other ideas. So this came up, I know June 1st, right? It's hot. We get it. We tried to do it sooner. We couldn't get it together sooner.
Sure.
The dates didn't jive with other things in town. This actually does fall against 2 other things in Carlsbad, but you can make a full day out of it.
Give an excuse to make a day out of Carlsbad.
Right.
Do a bunch of
and
stuff.
It's called the Spring Wing Ding. It is actually at the center.
Okay.
So on our porch, we are going to have free, and this is a free event.
Okay.
So we have Beer Cousins, which is a very popular band down in Carlsbad.
Okay.
They'll be playing, and then JJ, and I can't, Aguilar. There you go.
Aguilar.
JJ Aguilar.
Okay.
He does play here in Roswell.
Okay.
Several Peppers, and at the one up north.
Oh, Antiguas?
Antiguas.
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, come! I can see it. Antiguas.
You're
So you
testing
might
me
know
now.
that.
I'm like, all right, get my brain going.
So we have a band and then a solo artist that are going to come out, and that's
Excellent.
free. So bring your lawn chair. We'd love for you to just come out and listen to some music.
Great local music. Absolutely.
We have Black Cock Brewery from right here in Roswell.
They put out some great
They're
food.
coming out, and they're going to. We have a beer garden.
Excellent.
So they are also one of our sponsors. So depending on
and
how
they're
much
a
they make,
local brewery, so they probably have some local. If you want to try some craft beers, things
they're
like
brewing,
that, they
they're
got all
brewing
that
for
stuff.
the event.
Yeah, good
and
deal.
they're going to give us a percentage of their proceeds
Nice.
that goes to the wildlife. So that's great.
They don't have any roosters that need any health checkups or anything.
Well, maybe they'll bring them. So everything. What I think is really funny is it's on the poster. It's you have the Black Cock logo, which is a rooster.
Sure.
Then you have the Wing Ding, which is a bunch of birds right in a heart, and then you have our hummingbird, and it's like, wow. Who planned this? But we
Please
have
tell me chicken's on the menu.
Tex-Mex burgers and more.
Probably
and
good
more.
to go beef.
So we do have at least 2 food trucks, and the one I just mentioned is Tex-Mex. They're coming out.
Good.
From Artesia, so now we have something from Roswell. From Artesia, we have cornhole tournament being put on by Top Dog Cornhole.
All right.
And it is a 30-70 split. It's only $20 for you to enter.
So all you serious cornhole players,
yes,
put
come
together
on
your
out.
Put together your. I guess it's usually 2-person team. How they usually work,
2-person team.
But if you just want to do it for fun, because I've seen that.
Oh yeah,
where the fun
I have
ones
a girlfriend
come in,
doing that.
and then they smoke the serious ones, and those serious ones get mad when they do that beginner's luck type.
But I think it's perfect. Cornhole,
it's a lot of fun,
a brew, listen to music.
Cornhole's a great sport because you don't have to be good at it to have any fun. You know what I mean? You could really chuck it. It goes nowhere near the cornhole board, and you're like, this is fun.
We also have, this all started because Wander on Wheels Museum, which is from Santa Fe, but this year the Ranch Museum, it takes care of the theme, which is agriculture.
I got you.
So we saw them last year, and they were looking for a place to do something in Carlsbad because they never get invited to Carlsbad, and a lot of times not even to Southeast New Mexico.
Okay.
So we said, well, we'll figure it
Come
out.
on down.
Right. So that's how they were our first,
Sure.
aha, let's do an event.
And obviously with ag and animals, I mean, it kind of is in the same realm here, you know. It's
and they're
all
going to
about
have
the
free
land and
crafts
people.
for kids, and you can go into the museum for free.
Love
so
it.
that will be happening.
And the kids will love that because you get to learn them, you know.
Right.
And that's why you bring the kids, because they're going to want to see the animals and see all the fun. And
we'll
you
have
know,
the education of
Mom
birds
and Dad
out.
will be in the music and the food and all that. Well, the kids will want to play with the animals and you know, see all the cool stuff that's out there.
And if you don't have kids, you play cornhole, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Going over to cornhole. But yeah, it sounds like it's just a fun kind of picnic type event type of thing.
We have Eddy County Fire and Rescue and Fire Prevention Trailer will be there.
Excellent. So if anything catches on fire, we got emergency services on hand. So
also, I think that is Smokey Bear Park Capitan, is that national or is that state? Okay.
I think it is.
So the National Park District is going to be there with Smokey.
Oh, excellent.
Going to make an appearance.
Excellent.
Don't know how long he'll be out.
By the way, if for Smokey the Bear fans, if you've never been to the museum in Capitan, put it on your list.
I just was there. I went to their festival in May. It was awesome.
It is such a cool museum. I spent a good hour in there just enjoying everything about it. I mean, it's Capitan. There's not a whole lot else in Capitan. You're a good place to eat, good place to shop.
I was going to say, there's a good place to eat because we got, didn't they win number one green chili
they won it.
cheeseburger or something?
I don't know if it was this last year, but in years past, they definitely have won that award.
I had never heard of it. And the state symbol, the Zia, is on the bun.
Yeah.
It was all kinds of fancy up in Capitan.
But the Smokey the Bear Museum is definitely worth a visit. If you've driven by it, never gone in there, go in there and check it out. It's really cool. And his grave's there too, by the way.
Oh, I didn't see that. I missed that. I have to go back. And the event is from 10 to 3.
Okay.
I should tell you that. Music will start around 11 and it will go till 2:30. So
Excellent.
Music will be almost all day long.
About 3 o'clock, you're probably good and hot and tuckered out and ready to go home.
2:45, the beer tent or the beer area, whatever, will close. Excellent. So you get your last call at 2:45. Of course, it'll take us longer than 15 minutes to clean up. Just because you end doesn't mean,
meander out at their leisure pace. Yeah.
We do have local vendors, local meaning Southeast New Mexico.
Excellent.
So they're from all over.
Are they doing arts and crafts and art stuff?
Yes.
Excellent. Perfect.
So if you would like to be a vendor, it is $35 to $45 to be a vendor.
And that goes back to the Desert Willow Refuge Wildlife Refuge.
Right.
So you're paying to help keep owls and other wildlife healthy.
We're super blessed and lucky that we have a sponsor we have porta potties that sponsored our porta potties and our security. But if you would like to be a sponsor, we are still looking for a sponsor for the music.
Excellent.
So we're hoping that we can find one before that date. But vendors, you can call 575-513-8119 or go to info@dwwrc.org. You're better off probably calling the number because I don't know how often Robert looks at this. If he looks at it every day or every other day. I know he looks at it 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
But the phone number would be the best. Again, it's 575-513-8119.
Sure.
It is on Fiesta Drive in Carlsbad. So you go all the way through town before you get to it. Those of you that knew the old zoo in Carlsbad, that's the location.
Okay.
Which, not being from here, I'm like, a what? This was a what?
Take a left where the barn used to be. He's like, what?
Parking is going to be the funky thing, so please bear with us at least this year on the parking.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and just plug the other 2 events so you can make a day of it. There's a car show down at the convention center
at the
area.
Walter Gerald's.
Walter Gerald is a Yucca Blossom.
Oh, excellent.
And at the convention center, which is down by the river.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's isn't that what Doodad said?
In a van down by the river.
Yes. That's my brother's business. Sorry. I was like, oh, no, I said a van at the river. That's where the car show is. So you can do all 3 things.
Yeah, so I think they call it the beach or something like that.
Yes.
I believe that's
and all 3 things are free. Come look at cars, go shopping, and then come outside, enjoy some music and have a beer.
If you get there earlier in the middle or after and go to the Yucca Blossom, all that, one cool thing she does, which, by the way, hit the Wild West Soda while you're over there. That's her husband runs that one, and if you want I think it is most already have it, but I think it's if you are a true Southeast New Mexican, you have to have one of those metal cups from the Wild West sodas. in your cabinet because they're at every fair. It doesn't matter if it's the Eddy County Fair, the Chavez County Fair, the Eastern Mexico State Fair. The Wild West sodas are there, and every time I get the cup to get the sarsaparilla, and I fill up, and I keep the metal cup at home because I love drinking out of a metal cup. Weirdly enough, and you actually get those refill. But the other cool part I got wrapped up on the sodas. Whenever you go shopping at the Yucca Blossom, they always pick a family or pick someone that they want to help out, and they make all of their vendors like donate an item for a silent auction. A portion of their fees to be at the event go to this family. They did it just this past weekend for the family in Midway. I'm sure they have another family they got picked out for in Carlsbad this weekend.
And I personally would like them to be from the area where you're doing your show.
Mm-hmm.
I would just check that out. That's not always the case.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and all those families do need help. So it really doesn't.
Well, and the one they did that for here was and you probably heard about the shooting in Midway at the store, and it got a lot of media attention, and the poor lady that lost her life, their family's still struggling, and so they got helped out a little bit financially there. So when
I always go for the silent auction part, not so much to shop.
Yeah. But so if you're in Carlsbad on June 1st that day, please, when you're,
and she's there Saturday and Sunday, so you could come to our event on Saturday and then go to hers
and then go
on Sunday.
hit the car show afterwards.
Yeah,
and depending on what your time schedule is, you want to hit the one in the morning and one later or whatever. But come by and support them all. They're all great causes. They're all doing great stuff in our community, and they really are impacting not only Carlsbad but all of New Mexico,
right,
and all of Southeast New Mexico.
And I'll tell you, if you're a civic group or in any kind of group looking for a speaker, Robert comes in. We have an owl, we have 2 hawks and a raven. We do have Peabody and Seymour, but they're the pelicans, so they're a little bit bigger, need more room. But we can bring any of those to you. I mean, I had them come. I work for a law office here in town, and I do a lot of team building.
And driving to and from Carlsbad, Artesian, or Roswell, so that's why she's always transporting stuff.
Right, there you go. So I had Robert come with the birds, and it was a huge hit. So he's done law offices, he's done team building, he's been at schools for picture day.
So we think school education, but it's much business education and using it for business seminars or team building, leadership type stuff.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Call Rick Kraft and tell him.
That's right. Leadership Roswell type
Leadership
thing.
Roswell needs to have him.
Yeah.
So anything you're doing, fair, festival, even private events, if you're having some kind of big anniversary and you just want something different, or maybe, someone is into wildlife and you want to celebrate that, just give us a call.
Absolutely.
And it's all done on donation. We don't ask, there's no fee. We ask that you donate something. So
just a curiosity thing, and I know, granted, a lot of people who are listening here live in Roswell in this area, but are they in need for volunteers, like people that want to come out and help service the animals, clean cages, whatever that kind of work that needs
done?
We're
always building. We're always improving. In fact, we're going to put in brand new electric here in a little bit. But we're always moving gravel. We're always cleaning cages. I had a board meeting yesterday that, sounds glamorous, right? That led into cleaning the education cages. So, yeah. And you can also be, I should mention, a member. We have a membership. Excellent. So with your membership, we have a membership picnic that you're invited to. You get a special price on the gala. We try, if we're going to release an animal, we try to release them in the area that they were found in. So we try to let our members know, like our Roswell members, hey, we're going to be at the zoo, and we're going to be releasing the 3 kikes if you want to come see it.
And that helps them because I'm sure if they've been there a while, they're a little familiar with their hunting grounds and things. Mm-hmm. So you try to put them back where you found them so they at least have a sense of understanding of their environment a little bit. Right. Where you turn them loose at Desert Willow.
And I didn't know that pelicans are indigenous to this area, but they are.
Really?
They fly over in migration.
I would have called you a liar if you would have told me that, because I'm like, you think of pelicans around water, particularly ocean or large bodies, but
they migrate.
And I'm not a geography expert. New Mexico doesn't have any of that.
So how we got the first one was between Artesia and Carlsbad. It rained. Okay. I know we don't know when that ever happened because so far we haven't seen any in Artesia. One day it did, yeah. But you had a lot here. By the time I got back to Artesia, nothing. But anyway, the road was wet. and he thought it was a pond.
I got you.
And he went to
Crashed.
land, and he broke his shoulder. And now we fixed his shoulder, but he can't really fly,
Okay.
so he can't really hunt.
So he was caught in
So-
migration, basically, in between
Right.
destinations
Right.
and ended up in New Mexico.
And the same thing happened to the other one, but up in, I think, Colorado. And so we were looking for a mate, as in
Okay.
just a friend. And so we got the second one.
And by the way, this is why getting back into cross promoting, this is why Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is so
Yes.
important, because that is in essence the pilot flying J for these migratory animals. They stop at Bitter Lake to rest for the night, to feed, to walk,
Right.
hunt, whatever they got to do. Some will even have their young, depending on where they're at, and then get them airworthy, and then keep
And then
on
away
going
they go, right.
to their destination.
And
here.
that's why we work with them. We work with the Living Desert.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good relationship with the rehabs up north, so we can share information,
it's all
animals,
connected.
all kinds of stuff.
It's all connected.
So yeah. Please come out on June 1st from 10 to 3.
Yeah.
Bring your lawn chair. We're not going to have a lot of chairs, but we are working on having a lot of tents just set up for shade.
Well-
if you're a vendor, we'd love to have you. We still are not full with the
And
vendors.
if you're going to enjoy
so-
the music, you probably want to sit down and enjoy a good spot to hear the music and stuff. So you're going to want a lawn chair for that.
Exactly.
So bring your lawn chair.
Altrusa will be there selling their knives. Altrusa will be there selling water and helping sell water and T-shirts for the center.
And I know you don't think necessarily knives, but Father's Day's right around the corner. And, I bet there's some dads want a good set of knives, too.
Lions Club from Carlsbad will also be there. They've taken on, last year we did it with Altrusa together. So an Artesia group and a Carlsbad group got together, helped them. Well, our group, we did that last year. It's a long drive for us. And we really turned the Lions Club onto them. So now the Lions Club has adopted kind of the Desert Willow as their project for the year. So yay!
Excellent.
So
Love
we're
that.
loving that. So you'll see some civic groups there helping out and enjoying as well. So.
Excellent. I just saw the time. We probably need to start, because we do have political ads to play before they kick me off.
Oh my gosh, when is the election?
June 5th, everybody. June 5th will be a happy day, because the June 4th primary day, June 5th, the commercials will stop. But June 1st, mark it on your calendar.
Yes.
Come out. If you've never been to Desert World, make that your first time. Then come see it. Come be a part of it. Come enjoy live music. We're going to have some great local bands. We're going to have some great food trucks. There's going to be opportunities for family to come and play cornhole and do all that, but to see the animals and let your kids interact as much as possible with the animals.
Right.
and
There are a
things.
lot of people say, can we touch them?
Yeah.
No, because they're wildlife.
Yeah,
you cannot touch them.
Yeah,
You'll see they'll have the big gloves on.
Yeah.
I mean, they still are wild animals, even though they're
your pet
education.
fluffy. These are,
right,
yeah,
right.
These are
isn't paws and
wild
claws.
animals that.
Although that's a good cost too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go pet them all you want.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
these go by the discretion of the people that are the
Mhm.
experts there. So good
Emma
deal.
Leah will probably be there with a bird because she's one of our handlers.
And to be honest, there might be certain animals that are safe to touch, and they will let you know.
Oh, yeah.
They will
Yeah,
let you know that.
definitely.
These are the folks that deal with them every day, and it's kind of like you being your own pet owner. Like your pets know you better than anybody else. Well, these animals know these people.
Like when they ask,
Yeah,
can I touch your
yeah.
dog? Mine's a rescue, so I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah, those people have earned the trust of these animals. You have not. So that's go by their discretion.
But come out June 1st, 10 o'clock. Again, it's on Fiesta Drive.
Absolutely.
Fiesta Drive in Carlsbad.
And you can put Desert Willow Wildlife Rehabilitation Center on Facebook. You'll find their page, and you can like and follow if you have questions or
That's right.
information you can ask right there.
Yep, Facebook's a great place.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Mike.
We'll see you next time. Next week?
Yep, next week.
Last little reminder for everybody.
Whoop, whoop.
8:56. Guess what we're doing? Playing some commercials before news. Don't go away.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals. And Azell even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azell?
That's right, Candy Azell. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azell voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by Friends of Chad Hamill.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Grab a frosty mug and try the newest flavor from Bluebell, A&W Root Beer Float Ice Cream. A creamy vanilla-flavored ice cream swirled together with an A&W Root Beer flavored sherbet. A new way to enjoy your favorite root beer float.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell half gallons and 12-pack cups, specially priced $5.79 each at all Albertsons Market stores now through May 28th.
Every person listening to this ad right now will agree we as a nation are facing an uncertain future. We're at a crossroads. The status quo has failed us. We've got to fight. We've got to take back what we have lost. With your vote, you can join this fight. We can no longer squander our vote and our voice as if we're voting in a high school popularity contest. Nor can we continue electing self-serving politicians that claim to fight for you while making backroom deals that have facilitated the erosion of your liberties while destroying our livelihoods. My association with various different grassroots organizations, patriot groups, and activists has led to statewide citizen participation efforts to initiate grand jury investigations and the referendum of historically egregious laws. Similar efforts are being planned. These efforts will continue far into the future. We have within our reach the tools and weapons we need to end this tyranny and stop the assault on our faith, our liberties, and our way of life. We have the God-given authority to take back what we have lost. If you vote for Larry Marker, you're not voting for me, you're voting for we.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry Marker.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's look back over the weekend for the state track and field championships. Let's concentrate on the girls from Goddard and Roswell in Class 4A. Goddard's Alessandra Porras was second in the 100-meter high hurdles. Congratulations. She just has flat-out speed, too. She was fourth overall in the 200-meter sprint. Natalie Hardwick from Goddard, meanwhile, was fifth in the high jump. She's only a sophomore. From Roswell High School, Emma Esquivel was fourth in the javelin throw. She's a junior for the Coyotes. And senior Brianna Fowler in the high jump was seventh. And another Brianna Castro, junior for Roswell, was seventh overall in the 400-meter run. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
My name is Gabriel Nell, and I want to tell you an incredible story.
Dear Gabriel, congratulations on receiving the Order of Eagle Scout.
President Donald Trump sent me that letter. It all happened because of Greg Nybert. You see, I had a tough childhood. My adopted mom found me abandoned and starving when I was 10 years old. But right from the start, Greg Nybert helped mentor me. When I became an Eagle Scout, Representative Nybert got the White House to send me a letter from President Trump. He always wanted me to believe in myself as much as he believed in me. When I graduated from high school, Greg Nybert awarded me with a scholarship to go to college. There are so many people like me that Greg has helped, but he'll never tell you about it. I'm proud to cast my very first vote.
He services business. A suspect is in police custody. Watching Wall Street, the Dow's down 15 points, while the NASDAQ is 6 points higher and the S&P is flat. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Russia says its forces have captured another village in a contested region of Ukraine.
Klishchiivka was once a small village. It's been utterly devastated by repeated battles, having been recaptured last year by Ukraine in a counter-offensive. Ukraine has not confirmed the Russian claim, but fighting there is symptomatic of the wider picture. Ukraine is attempting to contain Russian offensives in the east, near places such as Chasiv Yar, Pokrovsk and Kupiansk. President Zelensky has described the situation as extremely difficult. New weapons from the US and other allies are starting to arrive, but in Kiev's eyes, more can't come fast enough.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart. French President Macron flying to New Caledonia to bid to find a political solution to the unrest that has rocked the French territory in the southwestern Pacific. The unrest raising new questions about Macron's handling of France's colonial legacy. News and analysis, townhall.com. Russia launching nuclear drills, an apparent warning to the West over Ukraine.
Russia's defense ministry says it's begun a round of drills involving tactical nuclear weapons. Officials say it's a response to remarks by Western officials about the possibility of deeper involvement in the war in Ukraine. The announcement came after French President Emmanuel Macron reiterated that he doesn't exclude sending troops to Ukraine. And UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron said Kyiv's forces will be able to use British long-range weapons to strike targets inside Russia.
That's a decision for Ukraine, and Ukraine has that right. Just as Russia is striking inside Ukraine, you can quite understand why Ukraine feels the need to make sure it's defending itself, it's getting the Russians out of its country, and it has the ability to strike back.
Comments the Kremlin has called dangerous. I'm Ben Thomas.
And again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down 24 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
My name is Gabriel Nell, and I want to tell you an incredible story.
Dear Gabriel, congratulations on receiving the Order of Eagle Scout.
President Donald Trump sent me that letter. It all happened because of Greg Nybert. You see, I had a tough childhood. My adopted mom found me abandoned and starving when I was 10 years old. But right from the start, Greg Nybert helped mentor me. When I became an Eagle Scout, Representative Nybert got the White House to send me a letter from President Trump. He always wanted me to believe in myself as much as he believed in me. When I graduated from high school, Greg Nybert awarded me with a scholarship to go to college. There are so many people like me that Greg has helped, but he'll never tell you about it. I'm proud to cast my very first vote for Greg Nybert and in the fall for Donald J. Trump. I hope you'll vote for them too.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here, you know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you been following the campaign for Senate District 32? I'm still undecided.
I voted for Candy Azell before, but after 20 years, she's been in office too long. She claims she's tough on the border, but voted to give free health care to illegals And Azelle even voted to raise her own taxpayer-funded pension 3 times.
Candy Azelle?
That's right, Candy Azelle. She also voted to implement critical race theory in New Mexico.
Critical race theory?
The bill forces school personnel to take annual anti-racism training and rips away local control of schools and hands it to bureaucrats in Santa Fe. Worse, Azelle voted to raise taxes by millions on health care for seniors.
Ouch. Who's Candy's opponent?
Chad Hamill. He's a local business owner and former fire chief in Roswell who is running to secure our border, fix our schools, and keep taxes low.
Chad Hamill. He's got my vote.
Paid for by friends of Chad Hamill.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. Another couple weeks of this, and it's all she wrote. Welcome, to hour number 3.
Tracing the Urnos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Indeed.
Enjoy it. Today, it's going to be a little breezy.
Yeah.
It's going to be 87 today, and we're just back in the 90s after it's supposed to be like, mid-90s and hot and all that again this weekend. Enjoy today.
Yeah. The breeze will be a-blowing. It's not going to be horrifically blowing. It's not. We are under I believe, a fire weather watch.
Tomorrow we are. Today
okay.
We're good. Tomorrow it's
okay. Well, in that case, smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, tomorrow we have the high wind watch and fire weather watch and all that, which will probably be a red flag warning. Upgraded at some point. But yes, because it's going to be mid-90s tomorrow and a little windier. So hence that. Today 87 and breezy.
It's nice to have leaves, to have the winds rustle again.
It is.
Before it was just watching, random brown sticks moving around in the wind. Now
we're full on. All trees have leaves.
Yeah.
It's not. Some trees have leaves. Some trees don't have leaves. Some trees have half leaves. Some have no leaves. Now they all got leaves, and the ones that don't, spoiler alert, dead.
Yeah. Right now, trees are basically Mario Cantone on the set of Sex and the City. They are out.
And then this is when you know when you have tree, because don't ask me for gardening tips. Go to Roswell Seed. They know what they're talking about.
Yes, they do.
But I do know when I see a tree and it's got leaves like here and no leaves up here, something's wrong with that tree.
Yeah.
I learned that one.
It's actually been a crazy bloom season, or it's the growth that's happened so far this season already, because they trimmed back all the trees in the area where I live, and just the growth off of the trees that have been basically lopped. There's already growing new trees,
new buddage.
Yeah. So it's been quite a growth year.
Yeah. So and of course weeds. We grow weeds very well here.
Boy, do we ever!
That's a cash crop around
here. Actually, I have besides myself and my cat, I have new life in my house.
Ooh,
I have a plant.
You got a plant?
Yeah. Well, okay, sort of. So I went to let me explain.
Is it plastic?
No, it's a plant. It's a plant. I went to the store over the weekend, and we purchased. I purchased a mint plant.
Okay.
Because I like mint. I'm going to be using mint a lot with some of the mixology I've been doing.
Stuff to muddle into your drink.
Exactly. So I got a mint plant, and the challenge has been laid. I'm like, is it possible?
You going to make juleps now?
Oh, I'm. That's one of the ones I'm working on.
Yeah, mints or tulips. Yeah,
or that, and it makes a heck of a garnish for a good tiki drink.
There you go. And it's delicious on ice cream.
And it's just nice to just pop a leaf in the mouth every now and again.
A tasty treat.
But I want to see if it's possible for me to keep a plant alive, because the last plant I had was an aloe plant, and I managed to kill a succulent.
Let me ask you this, because this is the problem in my house. I can't have plants inside my house.
Because of the cat?
Because of the cats. They will eat the plants.
So far, Stefan has ignored the plant. Although, me and him, I'm a little upset with him. He got out last night. I was a little upset about that. Yeah,
Come back with some friends?
No, I don't know if he came back with friends, family, or whoever, but he came back in by himself. That's for damn sure. But, yeah, no, I'm going to see if it's possible. Now, what I've been doing, because it's a little warmer, in my place. It's kind of harder to keep the insides cool. So what I've been doing is putting ice around the base of the planter inside of like a bowl to maintain the water, so that the water that it's actually absorbing is a cooler temperature than normal room temperature water.
Was that like a hack you saw online somewhere or something?
No, I was thinking it's mint. It's probably likes cold, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a thing.
Don't ask me.
I should really ask the people.
I have no knowledge of growing things. Yeah, don't ask me.
But actually, a buddy of mine, Ron, he's a pretty potent horticulturist, so I might check in with him and see if he's got any tips and tricks.
Sorry, I'll tell you off air.
All right.
In this day and age, when someone's a horticulturist, you know what that's code for? They grow weed.
They grow weed. He's not one of those guys. No, this guy actually he loves ficus. He has like 6 or 7 ficus. Ficus.
I bet you do paint them all red.
Oh, don't get me wrong. He's a pothead, but he lets others grow that. He focuses his attention on his ferns and whatnot.
Sorry, I heard that he's a horticulturist.
He's a horticulturist.
AKA grows weed plant.
Hey, some of them grow mushrooms, all right?
That's what makes him a horticulturist. But very cool. But good. I'm glad let us know the progress of your mint plants.
I will keep track. Last night I had to pick a few dead leaves off because I think the first couple of days I missed watering it the first day, and so I lost a little bit of the plant, but I brought most of it completely back.
And how often are you supposed to water it?
Well, I figure once a day. And then
Google search on this one.
I should probably look it up.
I imagine there might be. It might not always. I don't know.
Well, I've been like soaking it. I've just been hitting it with like a half cup of water every day, and then doing the ice thing.
Because I know you can overwater plants.
Yeah,
too.
you
That
can.
is a thing. I just don't know. I don't know. So this is. I have no knowledge of this stuff. I don't know these.
You have plants, don't you?
No, I told you. We have no plants. Like they're the ones outside I don't take care of. Someone else does. The ones inside we don't have because of the cats. So like anytime I bring home, like I don't even give Kim flowers anymore because I bring them home and we have to put them in the garage or in the most, like we have to put them in the guest room and close the door. So you can't enjoy them because, we are where the cats are. And where we are, the cats are, the cats eat them. So
makes sense.
It's just a battle that we never win, so we don't do it.
I'm going to. It says here every 2 to 4 days.
Okay,
actually, so I'm probably won't water it tonight, but I am thinking I'm pretty close to doing a transplant, like to moving it from man to a woman. No, from the pot that it came in to an actual permanent pot.
Going to give it some hair.
Or I'm allowing it to choose which bathroom it uses.
Chia mint. You know what? If the chia people can make a mint head that shoots mint out of it, I'd buy that.
I'd buy that. It wouldn't look as good though. It wouldn't look as full.
I think you just have to pick different characters.
Yeah,
with different hairstyles.
I guess you'd have to like a Post Malone. It'd look good because it's the long hair.
Although if you get the leaves long enough, maybe it lays down, and you could go with like Cher or various other straight haired.
The Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And the leaves just look like little beads in the hair.
Where's my Liberace chia head? I seem to miss that one.
I'm pretty sure that they weren't doing custom heads around the Liberace ears.
Well, let's do it now.
Let's do it now, yeah.
I mean, we got Darth Vader ones. I mean, he was around the 70s.
Let me get the Liberace people on the phone.
Yeah. Bob Ross hadn't been, on the air in years. I mean, actual Bob Ross, he's still got Chia Pet.
That's true. He's got several. Of course, then again, his, the people responsible for his name are very quick to use it.
All I'm saying is, if you need a new Chia Pet head, I offer you Liberace.
I offer you the head of Liberace. That sounds a little violent. Hey, Chia Pets people, can I suggest this guy? Is that Liberace's head? Did you exhume it?
For scale.
Just so you know, just so you can get it right.
Yeah, we want it historically accurate, please.
That's right.
and another one that I think we should have is Mr. Deal a Meal himself.
Mr. Richard Simmons.
Why is there not a Richard Simmons Chia?
He's pretty elusive these days.
I know.
He doesn't like him. Like, I think his likeness being used.
But if it's obviously not current version of him, but the 80s sweating to the oldies version of him in his, quote unquote high water mark, why not? He's got Bob Ross hair. It would work just as well. I would like it.
Well, I've got great news for you.
They have a
Richard Simmons Chia Pet.
See, someone new.
There you go.
There is a Richard Simmons one.
Oh, wow. And this is fantastic because this has growing head hair and chest hair.
Ooh, they even throw the chest in there.
It's got chest Chia.
Love that.
I got a healthy Chia muff.
Someone's getting a new Chia Pet. I'm
Goes
just saying.
all the way down to my Chia fro.
Father's Day's around our corner.
That's right.
I don't have kids. I have cats. Someone give me a Richard Simmons Chia chest hair.
Chest hair.
Gosh, I'm putting a medallion on that too.
Yeah, it needs some kind of accoutrement.
Oh man, that's delightful.
That is fantastic.
Well then, that being said, I want the whole 70s line. I want a Burt Reynolds one with the chest hair, like a la Smokey and the Bandit. I want a Magnum PI one with the chest hair through the Hawaiian shirt. There's more. That's just
there's plenty. There's plenty.
Yeah, Robin Williams. He's the hairiest man on the planet.
I think if we could pull off an entire A team of Chia Pets, I think that'd be awesome.
You don't realize how much hair removal they had to do on Robin Williams for the movie Hook.
Oh yeah, right.
I was blown away when you saw his chest. I'm like, there's no hair. That man literally looked like George Animal Steel. He had hair on his back, hair on his arms.
He grows his own sweaters.
Yeah, he literally. And so Hook was. But anyway, I'm getting.
But I digress. Have you seen the chest on Robin Williams? This conversation took a weird turn, man.
All I wanted was some Chia Pets.
Chest hair.
Golly. But a Burt Reynolds one would.
A Burt Reynolds would. It would have to have the Chia stash.
Oh, the Chia stash and Chia chest hair. Absolutely. And it has to have the string pull where it does the laugh too.
No, if we're gonna do it right, we have to do it in the Burt Reynolds pose.
Yes.
With the Chia growing just out of the bikini region.
That's right. Well, for that matter, we can go with the Joe Namath pantyhose version too.
Chaunch.
All right, I got to get the interview going.
On that note,
that's right. We're going to replay an interview with Bill Williams, Chavis County Manager. He joined us on Friday to discuss what happened last county commission meeting, other things happened around the county. We're going to do that this hour, but before we do that, let's take a quick. It's 4 minutes. That's quick in our commercial break world. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Bill Williams, Chavis County Manager. That's up next. Don't go away.
This is State Representative Jim Townsend. Because of the continued efforts of Senator Greg Nybert and others, Republicans have experienced a significant victory. A judge stopped MLG's attack on our local schools' ability to make their decisions on 4-day school weeks. Greg Nybert constantly works behind the scenes to support our communities. I wanted to tell you how much we owe him our thanks. Greg has been a leader protecting local control of our schools. He's one of the best assets conservatives have in New Mexico. Today, he's the only oil and gas expert we have in the state Senate. Greg is the best chance we have in the Senate protecting our jobs from destruction by the progressives and MLG. We must re-elect Greg Nybert. because he protects our jobs, our freedoms in southeast New Mexico and New Mexico as a whole. Please join me in supporting Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Artesia General Hospital recently welcomed urogynecologist Scott Beard to the team. Dr. Beard is board certified in obstetrics and gynecology, as well as female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery. With nearly 25 years of experience in women's health, he treats conditions such as incontinence, chronic pelvic pain, prolapse, endometriosis, and others, offering surgical and non-surgical care options. Dr. Beard joins our women's services team currently working out of Memorial Family Practice in Artesia and is accepting new patients. Learn more and schedule your visit at artesiageneral.com/UROGYN or call 575-736-8394.
This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington. Candy Ezell is running for the state senate, and I want to tell you why she's the best person for this job. Candy has been fighting for us. As a state representative, she's been an advocate for law enforcement and for the rule of law. She's been voting against Michelle Lujan Grisham's attacks on the Second Amendment for years. And whenever Candy stands up and says no, people pay attention. That's why we need her in the state senate. She's also been fighting for all the policies that have led us to the border crisis, including opposing catch and release of violent criminals, drivers, and professional licenses for illegals. A vote for Candy Ezell is a vote to restore law and order and to secure the border here in New Mexico. This is Chaves County Sheriff Mike Harrington asking you to vote for Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
I'm Candy Spence Ezell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spence Ezell for State Senate District 32.
It's becoming more challenging to be an educator today. If you'd like to consider a change in your teaching environment where you can teach students how to learn instead of what to learn while centering your classes day around God, consider a position with Artesia Classical Academy. Artesia Classical Academy has positions in music, art, kindergarten through second grade, and various seventh grade subjects available, and they are now offering competitive pay. If you're interested in a teaching environment with more freedom to teach, please reach out to Artesia Classical Academy. Call or visit artesiaclassicalacademy.org. Artesia Classical Academy, preparing minds for action.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, now officially, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us. Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mike?
Doing good.
Did you enjoy the rain?
It was nice.
We got a good rain.
I watched it from my window here as I was doing baseball, but yeah, it was nice to see that.
I was driving back between Lovington and Maljamar yesterday, and it's the worst rainstorm I've ever been in my life. My wife and I were coming back from Dallas a couple of years ago, and we hit a really bad hailstorm, and we thought the windows were going to get knocked out, but there was not the volume of water. There was so much water, I could barely make out the white line ahead of me, and you couldn't pull off the road because everything was flooded. I don't know how many inches they got, but it came down for 10 or 15 miles. It was, oh my gosh.
And that's where
just had to slow down and hope nobody was coming fast, and they weren't.
Well, a good thing you got through that okay.
Oh my gosh,
and, that's
something.
scary when you do those. Yeah. But downtown here, I don't think we got nearly that volume of water.
Well, I got 3 tents at my house, and we're very thankful for that and praying for more.
Right. I know. We get all 5 inches of our yearly rain in one day.
We're thankful.
I'm thankful for it, even though it's usually a little bit hard to deal with. It
sure is. Well, we had a good meeting yesterday. We had, first of all, we always do our proclamations and stuff up front. So we did our annual proclamation for Motorcycle Awareness Month. People to be courteous and watch out for motorcycles.
Weather's getting warmer, and quite frankly, Southeast New Mexico has some great motorcycle roads.
Motorcycle weather.
Where you want to go up to the mountains or head out to the desert or whatever, there's some great places to go riding.
Yeah, when I was a couple of years younger, I I've rode not so much on the highway as out different places. And had a lot of fun with that. Reminds me of you and Sean were talking about socks a minute ago.
Yes.
So here's my twist. Back whenever I was in school, we wore tall tube socks with our basketball shoes. You know, we looked really cool.
My start of my school, it was like that too.
Our short basketball shorts and our tall socks. And of course, I continued to wear those because I was trendy and stylish. And everybody says, that's not cool. You know, that's outdated.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing these little booties. Guess what? The pendulum swings,
It's
man.
back now.
We're going to get our tall socks back, and I still have a closet full of them.
You're ready.
So-
Now my question is, because the color combinations that they assigned to the tube sock.
Right.
You know, it's a white tube sock, but there was always 2 to 3 stripes, depending on your brand.
And sometimes you had a thin stripe and
Yes.
2 wide stripes.
Yeah.
You know.
But sometimes they'd use weird, like there was a red, blue, red, white, and blue was always a popular one, but sometimes you'd have like orange and green.
Yeah.
Together. And I'm like, so I don't know if we need to, bring some of those 70s colors back to the fold. But,
I think all of mine were Kelly green because of Hagerman Bobcats,
see, down here,
so we had to have
team loyalty. I'm sure
Yeah.
folks in Artesia had a bunch of orange.
And we burn
tube
orange socks and blue socks and
Yeah,
those
but see, you
things.
probably couldn't own blue socks in Artesia in the 70s. So
Well, with Dexter and Hagerman, no one wore blue socks in Hagerman. It was only green.
Only green, and
I mean, you could wear another color, but it better not be.
Yeah.
It better not be demon blue.
Right. Of course, people in Dexter, Carlsbad, and Lovington could join forces.
Oh,
their
yeah, they
blues
could all-
really were
yeah.
the same shade.
But anyway, I didn't want to miss that opportunity to.
But my younger days, we
to
had those.
gloat that my socks are coming back in style.
But
I've been
by-
telling my wife for 20 years. Someday, and here we are.
My younger days, when I didn't care about fashion because I was a little kid, that's when they were. But when I got to the point where I started getting interested in girls, and when that happens, then I started caring about things.
Yeah,
like that.
of course.
Yeah. But-
So we did our proclamation, and then we had a really interesting and unusual event happen. Local artist Greg Birch, who was on your show yesterday.
Yeah, he kind of let a little bit of that cat out of the bag before the meeting.
Of course, he's a world-renowned painter and has done some really amazing work. And much of his work is historically
Driven.
Historically driven. That's a good way to put it. And he does a lot of Billy the Kid stuff and paints all the buildings and structures and people that were around.
Yeah, he likes to take, especially buildings that we knew existed, but there's not really any photographs of or anything. And so he'll take personal accounts, letters, he'll dig and do his best to kind of recreate a viewable image of what that building looked like in its time, in its heyday, so to speak.
So he presented us with a painting, a very accurate painting depiction of the original Chaves County Courthouse. Of course, Chaves and Eddy County were created by an act to create Chaves and Eddy County in 1889. And one of the first things that was mandated was that they set up elections so they could actually elect our representation, because the first commissioners, of course, were appointed by the territorial governor.
Makes sense.
To take over.
Yeah, it was pre-1912, so we were not a state yet.
So they were appointed. So the first thing they had to do is establish how they were going to do the elections and get elected officials in there. And they also had to build a courthouse. And the original courthouse was built by the Pauley Jail and School Manufacturing Company out of St. Louis. $30,000 was the amount allotted to that. And
that gets you a couple windows nowadays, but
well, yes. Let's not talk windows. Windows are very expensive on courthouses. I can tell you that for a fact. Yeah. But anyway, he depicted the courthouse. Most people haven't seen photos of that. I've seen a few because I really research and hunt for that stuff. He presented that to us. We're going to find a place of honor. I'm thinking we'll probably should hang it at the courthouse, because when you're in the courthouse, you don't have it's over 100 years old, so you don't realize, hey, wait a minute, this is an ancient building. By New Mexico standards.
It's a historical building.
And was there another one? A lot of people don't know that. So to have that there might be the best place to put it. I'd love to have it in our South office so I could see it more often.
And it gives visuals for timeline for people to create that timeline of what was here at what time and say, okay, this is what people were seeing and being a part of. I love that.
And that's the hardest part for me is I would love to see it every day, where I could step out in the hall and take a look at it or in one of our conference rooms. but I think it probably deserves a
commit
place
more
of
crimes. You'll get to see it more often. I kid him. Have more court cases. You get to see
I
them
think
all
it deserves a place of honor in the courthouse, but we still have to evaluate where and how we would do it, and and give it its due.
Yeah.
So,
well, it is a government operation. We have to have at least 4 or 5 meetings to decide whether. I'm just kidding.
well, hopefully we'll get to it quicker than that.
But big thank you to Greg for doing that.
Absolutely. You cannot believe it. I can't wait for people to take a look at it. We'll get a picture of it posted on our Chaves County website so that people can see it. If they're not at the courthouse for business or whatever, or in the interim,
when you're in a better mood.
Yeah. So we'll make sure it's posted so people can see it. It's just really amazing. I mean,
we got to see it. He brought it here and previewed it for us.
Man.
So it's a beautiful painting.
Like I say, it's one thing for someone to donate artwork to you, but when it's someone of his caliber, oh my gosh. I look around your office and think, what did you do?
He keeps blessing us, man. I was like, dude, you're so appreciative, but you'll have to give me a penny every time you see it. Really,
he and I spoke for an hour or so last week, and I'm very interested in local history. He's very interested in local history, and we had a good time talking about it. So
sounds like you got a few cups of coffee to do discussions ahead of you.
Yeah, we definitely are going to have to get back together. So we also had another presentation from the Carlsbad Irrigation District.
Okay.
So Carlsbad Irrigation District represents the farmers from Fort Sumner all the way down to Carlsbad. You know, our valley is a very productive valley as far as agriculture is concerned. It's not very wide, only about 50 miles wide, but about 100 miles long, 120 miles long. And
it's like a big straw.
Actually, it's longer than that. I think it's about 150 miles long. But anyway, Carlsbad Irrigation District represents all the farmers in that district.
Okay.
So a few years back, the Bureau of Reclamation, who's in control of all the dams, did a Title Transfer Act.
Okay.
And I'm unclear exactly on all the details, but they assigned the dam to the Carlsbad Irrigation District. Came riding in on a white horse. We're going to do something nice for you. We're going to give you this dam so you can operate and maintain it and everything. Well, the thing that they didn't tell them is that there's a life expectancy on
was it about to die?
on the gates on the dam that they open and close to allow the water in and out, to control flooding, and to allow for agriculture.
Just handed you a lemon.
Exactly. It was kind of a bait and switch, it appears to me. You know, I'm a car salesman. I'm going to give you this.
Right.
And it's mandated that you change the engine at 50 to 75,000 miles, or in this case, 50 to 75 years. Well, it was well over 75 years when they gave it to them. And in the fine print, it says, and you will be responsible for replacing the dam gates at a cost of $36 million on the local farmers. You know,
that's
Carlsbad
a big
Irrigation District does not have a lot of money.
Right.
You know, they are not wealthy.
So they got
folks.
handed a big old bag of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have to pay, now they don't have to pay 100%. They only have to pay 68% of the cost of $36 million.
Let's build two then.
You know, the dam was built in 1936, and the gates are originals. They've been patched and fixed, and they need to be replaced. They're still operational.
Some things are good to be historic. These are one of those things that maybe historic is not the best.
Is not the best way to do it. So they came and gave a presentation to the commissioners yesterday, and they've requested that we send a letter to our Congress in Washington.
Okay.
Apparently, Senator Lujan is working with them to try to. It will literally take an act of Congress to change this so that they're not responsible. They're mandated to replace them, but you know they don't have a dog in that fight. You know, and so it's just kind of an unfair and
someone passed a buck and they just got left holding the bag is what happened. Yeah.
And the Bureau of Reclamation says, hey, it's not our responsibility. You have to replace those gates. But we're in charge of the dam, but you have to replace those gates for, you know, pay 68% of the cost of a $35 million project. They don't have money. They don't.
Some account got a promotion pulling that move.
This is not a good thing.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but we will prepare a letter for our county commission to evaluate next month, and they'll determine if they would like to sign that letter. I think we're all certainly in support of agriculture in Chaves County and up and down the Pecos Valley, And
we all need to make sure all of that's taken care of.
We need to support those who support us in agriculture.
Especially,
and I feel confident that they'll be...
Especially in an industry that already has enough people trying to destroy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Between that and oil and gas, as we've talked many times.
Yep.
Another thing that we did yesterday, nice segue, thanks, sir. The commissioners passed a resolution in support of the EPA. Seriously,
all right.
We're supporting the Environmental Protection Agency's proposed rule 20.6.8,
okay,
New Mexico Administrative Code, or the New Mexico Environment Department is actually who it is, not the Environmental Protection Agency. But,
gotcha.
But anyway, often we don't see eye to eye with them.
That's true.
They have in their water portion appropriate reuse for produced water from oil wells.
Okay.
And it can be reused. There's a lot of water, is pumped down the hole or comes out of the hole. I'm certainly not an oil and gas person, but
there's practical uses for
But
it.
there is a lot of water that if you just dump it out or dump it out on the ground and pick up the ground and haul it to a land farm, you're not utilizing the water for anything productive or useful. And so they have identified the areas where that water can be used. And in our part of the country, we don't have a lot of water to use for everything. So,
whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. That's the state. That's the saying around here. Yeah.
So for instance, you could use that produced water to water roads, and there are many uses. It can be cleaned. It can be reused. That it can't be used to grow food, and I get that. Because there could be some contaminants in it that could be passed on to food. And they're not allowing that, but they're allowing other ways to use the produced water in a beneficial manner that offsets the amount of water you'd pump up.
Sure.
The good water, if you want to call it that.
Well, it's at the end of the day, it's in the earth. It's going back to the earth in a beneficial way.
Well, you would think that this would be a no-brainer. Everybody would be on board with this. Hey,
smart. Because
we came to the table, we compromised, we said this is what it can be used for.
And at the end of the day, it checks everybody's boxes because the green folks are happy because it's there. But at the end of the day, it's a financially smart move.
Right, unless you're attacking oil and gas. If you want to stop oil and gas, then you're going to say, oh, absolutely, everything you do is horrible and you're ruining us no matter what.
Yeah.
And so there are groups of people in the large population centers, I won't say what side of I-40 those are on.
Put it this way.
That are opposed to this rule. To this proposed rule.
But they'll oppose anything.
They'll oppose anything that has to do with oil and gas.
Exactly.
Or agriculture. They don't listen. They don't care. They want to impose their will upon the rest of us who are providing for every school, hospital, and road in the state of New Mexico. The oil and gas has provided the funds for that.
Yeah, not to mention every pen that they write their complaints with, every comb that they run through their hair, all oil and gas.
Every plastic bottled water.
Yes, absolutely.
All the things that they know and love, even the pieces on their electric car.
Mm-hmm.
The oil and grease in the wind turbines.
Yeah, that keyboard they're whacking on and they're putting their Facebook crap. That's all oil and gas, buddy.
Exactly.
If it's a plastic, it's oil and gas.
But they continually seem to want to attack the things that make our neighborhood tick, and so of course we're supporting the proposed rule because it does meet the requirement to have a use for that for that water, and it offsets the use of water that we can use for other purposes.
Absolutely. It's a win-win for everybody.
If you're talking about saving the environment and things, these are the kind of things you need to do.
Yeah.
But,
how can you be, let's put our attack ads together. They oppose saving your water. Well, let's put that move on them.
That's it. But there is a group of people within the state of New Mexico who supposedly are in protecting our environment that are opposed to using water for a use that offsets the use of water that you need for other uses. And go figure. Welcome to our
let's pack
world.
at them. Let's just say, look at these evil
Welcome to the
environmental
21st century.
They don't even want to save water.
Welcome to Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. We're all here.
Yeah, we're officially in the cuckoo part of the cuckoo's nest here. But yeah, it is. But anyway. Sorry.
My!
It is. It's supported
we could
by
do
the
a
county.
whole show on this. I'm not sure that anyone's blood pressure would go down. I think everyone's blood pressure would go up, and I can't believe it.
And I'm on enough pills already for that. So.
So yesterday we also had our road hearings. We do that once a year. In December, we come up with the schedule, how we're going to handle that. There's nothing to preclude us from doing it every time somebody comes up. But I mean, some years you might not have any, and some years you might have one this month and one next month and one the month after.
Sure.
And it's a long process. So, it wouldn't be so bad if just brought it to the commissioners and talked about it. It's okay, let's do it. But each one of the roads, whatever action they're requesting, we have to put together an agenda or an application. So
there's a whole process that happens to happen for each one of these roads.
Application has to come in, and then we have to appoint a board of freeholders. So there's 3 people who have no ties to any of the roads that will actually go out and view and make a recommendation to the commission.
Based solely on their findings and what they see. Yeah.
Right. In my opinion, and I live in the city, I'm a hunter, I'm a rancher or whatever, and they come together and say, yeah, this makes sense to do it. Or, hey, from my point of view, I'm a hunter and I don't agree that this should happen on this road. Or, I'm from the city. I think that, we need to improve this out.
Sure.
Whatever
it needs
whatever
to be
the case
taken
is.
over,
So,
or needs to be abandoned.
So that has to happen on every road. Then they give their recommendation to the commissioners. The commissioners then hold a public meeting. Everyone can come in. I'm in favor of this. I'm against this. They listen to both sides.
Don't take my road, whatever it is.
They listen to both sides of it, or don't fix my road.
Yeah.
There's as many people that don't want their road fixed as do.
Well, there's a reason why people live in the county,
right,
isolated, because they're not exactly looking for visitors and looking for people to hang out on there.
And so, this goes through this process, and then after they have the public hearing, then the commissioners themselves go out and actually set foot on the ground where that road is. They're not just going to look at pictures of it. They're going to go out there and see it for themselves, drive across the road, get to the road. One of the roads took us, I think I told you last month, we went 371 miles, all within the state or within the county. Well, technically, we drove outside of Chaves County through Eddy for just a little patch because it was kind of a shortcut. So we did get to one of the roads by a short piece in Eddy County. But even with that, we drove as much during that day within Chaves County as we could have driven from here to Liberal, Kansas.
Wow.
Our county is large.
It is a lot of acreage
and
there.
a lot has to go in. So the commissioners go out, they actually look at the road, they drive across the road, they know how remote it is or how close to town it is, and then they have to make a determination.
Sure.
Well, that's what they did. We had one road that was a road vacation. It was about 3/4 of a mile long. It was actually, the application was put in by the Chaves County Road Department. It came off of the main road, went a couple hundred feet across, whatever the main road was on. I don't know if it was federal land or what, but I mean, literally, you could see the fence to the private property with both eyes closed. Practically, it was so close to the fence. And so essentially it was a driveway to someone's house. And we don't do that. We try to get rid of those kind of roads because
only one family or one person utilize it.
Your taxes shouldn't be paying to maintain
no more than you're
the
paying
road
for
to
my
house.
driveway.
Right. Exactly. So that was a vacation, and they decided to vacate that road. We had one road that was a new road request. And typically when we do a new road request, you have to deed the right-of-way to the county. Anyone that's living adjacent to it has to give us 30 foot on their side, so we have a 60-foot right-of-way.
Sure.
Then they have to bring the road up to county standards, and they have 6 months from the time that they approve it to...
Unlike the dam situation, you do have to bring it up to county standards.
Right. So we had one of those, but it's a little bit different because it goes only across BLM land. So there's a county road that runs adjacent to it, and this road tees off and goes across that down to some private property, and beyond that to pipeline crossing that oil companies and everyone use. So the federal government does not deed us right away. They just don't work the same way as a private individual, and we don't have any control over that. So what we did is we considered it, rather than a new road request, we considered it a maintenance status change because the process is slightly different. You still have to bring the road up to standards. We just don't get the legal documents
kind of
saying it's
addressing what needs
our
to be
right
done,
of way.
but yeah.
And so they have from now till the end of December to bring the road up to standards. And whether the BLM brings it up to standard, where the landowner in between brings it up to standard, or whether the oil company brings it up to standard. Oil companies, I think there's multiple oil and gas companies. As long as somebody goes in and fixes the road, we'll be good.
Maybe they all chip in a third or something. Who knows? But they got to figure that one out.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, then the county will
in
say, all right,
December
we'll
we
take
have
it
the
over.
final approval. I mean, they're approved tentatively now. The vacation is done. The second that it's voted on, it's done. But the roads that actually need some time to complete, that we give them a few months. So the third one, a very unique situation. This is the southernmost road, I believe, in Chaves County. Maybe another one further south, but it's also further west. So this, I believe, is the southernmost road on the eastern side of the Boot Heel.
Okay.
And it's a long way out there. It's mainly utilized. There's a rancher that has his cattle grazing there, and he has private property on the very far end. So it's 10 miles from his private property where he lives to his other private property on the other side of BLM, state land, everything. This is all public land, all good hunting ground. So, we do not vacate primary access to hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So that was never anything on the table. But he asked, he says, this road's not passable. Hunters can't pass it. I can't pass it. Can't do anything. How can we fix this? And we've actually talked with him for a few years. So this year he put in an application for a maintenance status change. So it's the county has the right of way through the BLM land and everything because that pre-exists. I told you we don't own the right of way.
Right.
And
you just get.
Technically, we don't own the right of way across that, but there is an existing right of way by a prescriptive easement. And there's a whole thing that BLM did back in, I think, 1977, RS 2477 roads, where they identified all the roads that had been in place and documented that those were actual roads, not a new road. So, there's all kinds of federal government twist in there. But anyway, he said, I want this to become a maintained county road is what he asked for. Well, it's 10 miles or more of very treacherous road. It benefits him and the hunters that go out there. And of course, the hunters, they don't care. And in fact, a lot of them say the more remote it is, the less people are going to be out here. The better my odds are to get the one that I want.
It's their honeypot, yeah.
And so everything has to be evaluated. For one thing, our road policy says that the minimum road is a 24-foot wide road with bar ditches on both sides, crowned a little bit, has to have the appropriate
full-on road stuff to it,
yeah. And nobody wants that. That's not really what we need to do, and it would cost the county literally millions of dollars and benefit
3 people or a very small percentage.
Yeah. And like I say, maybe mess up somebody's opportunity
tick off a few others
to get the good hunt because they're willing to go the extra mile or a lot of extra miles up and down over the bumps. So anyway,
of course, you get hurt out there, you're going to want the smoothest road possible to get out.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Down there, it just have to be an airlift, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Anyway, we determined that our road policy doesn't have kind of a primitive kind of a road. It needs to be a step over a 2-track, where you just drive across the pasture and your tires leave some ruts and you wind in and around mesquites and all that. The county doesn't take roads like that, but we probably we have determined we need to put in a standard for kind of a primitive 10-foot wide, 12-foot wide road. Right. Doesn't necessarily have to have bar ditches, but it needs to be a good passable
surface.
Something
won't wash out easy.
Have some kickouts for drainage, so when the water comes down, it doesn't take out the road, but it actually diverts a little bit away.
Sure.
So that's kind of what we're looking at, thinking is probably needs to be done down there. They voted not to change the maintenance status on the road. However, we've been working with the Carlsbad field office of the BLM. They have committed to spending some money and getting that road because it benefits them and the hunters. They're the main people that benefit from it is the Bureau of Land Management. It's mainly their property. They're going to come up,
pick up the onus of some of the cost
They're
of that.
going to get it in better shape. We're going to create a different standard so that we can say, yeah, that's good enough because we don't want a super highway out there.
Yeah, you don't want them to go overboard, but at the same time, we need something that you can get through.
We are not going to accept the road as a changed status where we have to maintain it on a regular and reoccurring basis like they would any other county road.
Gotcha. Okay.
Would never be available
So
for
will
chip
BLM
seal
be
or anything.
kinda-
They're just going to do a one-time thing is what
Okay.
they've committed to. But
Okay.
if they can get it up to that, we also have a vehicle in place that is not often used, but in a situation like that, we can allow the private owner to go on the property. We just have to have an agreement in place that says you have to follow these rules. You're welcome to take your dozer. In this case, it's probably more than a blade because, I mean, this is some rough, treacherous area. From time to time, he may have to take his dozer and fill in a washout so he can get to the far end of his ranch.
Makes sense.
And you know, we're okay with that.
Give him the permission to do all that.
You know, that doesn't use your tax money for something that's frivolous.
And to be honest, he's helping everybody, not just himself.
Right.
So,
and he's willing to do it. You know, he just wanted a solution that would work so he can do what he needs to do.
And quite frankly, no one else probably cares as much as he does because, quite frankly, he utilizes it on a daily or a very often basis.
And well, between him and the BLM, the BLM, they're the ones that get the main benefit from it because it's their lands. It allows people access and promotes their agenda. So anyway, we feel like that was a win-win.
Yeah.
In December, we'll have to go back over those two again and make sure that everything's what it needs to be.
And this is really the work of government. The county government, you know, this is how problems get resolved and things like it, just like this.
Well, this is government on the local level. You know, these big things that happen in Washington that hurt more people than they help.
This is the good government
or special
side we're
interest,
talking
you know,
about.
well, this will help the people in my area and cheat everybody else. You know, we don't do that. Everybody has
This is what the should be about, is this kind of stuff. It's like, all right, we got a problem. How do we solve it? All right, let's fix it.
And
that's exactly
the same
what
way we were
happened.
talking about the dam, you know, they're putting the burden of repairing something that helps thousands and thousands, 100,000 people on 500 farmers in the Pecos Valley.
Who don't have the resources to do anything like that.
That's what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to maintain, you know, these big things and big projects and not pass off your responsibility. I know we're running short on time, but let me cover real quick.
Yeah, we got about 3-4 minutes here.
Our next meeting will be June the 13th. We had to move our meeting because we had a conflict, and it works out well because we also have to canvass the primary election.
Okay. So June 3rd, that'll be up a week, right?
It'll be up a week.
So
That's
not
correct.
a week earlier, not a week later. Just
correct.
Make note. So usually it's the other way around. But this
And
time
we
it's
will
a
have an
week early.
IHC meeting. So the IHC, Indigent Healthcare meeting, will be at 8:30. The County Commission meeting will be at 9, and we will canvass the election during that same meeting. It'll be the scheduled meeting, but we have to have a canvass. Works out pretty good, actually.
Okay.
We passed our interim budget yesterday. That's the main thing I wanted to say. We've been working for months on getting our budget established. And the reason it's an interim budget, the numbers are pretty much final, except that we have to close out the year. So you can't have actuals, which would be the final budget, until we close it out. So the interim budget, all the commitments are in place, all that. We just have to wait for the end of the year to see how much money comes back, how much is expended, get an actual number, and then in July, towards the end of July. In fact, that meeting is moved forward a week to allow us a little extra time to close out the books and come in with actual final budget numbers, and then they'll approve the final budget.
Now, when you're at this level with the interim budget, is that stuff you have to submit to Santa Fe, or is that not until the final budget later, or does all this have to go up there too?
No, this all goes to Santa Fe as well, and they have to make sure that we're within.
See, because
the
that's part of
percentage
this too. Is
income and outgo.
Santa Fe has to greenlight everything they send up and back, so that's why it's little like this. And that's why I was curious, like, do they have involved in this, or do they don't get involved to the
because
end?
we have our revenues and expenditures, and they have to be within a certain percentage of each other. You can't say, "Well, I'm going to spend $10 million and I have $1 million to cover it." You know, they make sure that if you're going to spend $10 million, you better have pretty close to $10 million coming in to make sure that you're.
Then I got to pull those shenanigans over. I'm just like, where'd this come from? Yeah, I got you. But that makes sense.
And we did a budget adjustment, and shortly after that, we did an excess property thing. We have, if you are in the market for a Crown Vic, now is the time to go to govdeals.com. And we had several sheriff's vehicles that they've been borrowing parts off of and taking the upfitting, the lights, all the cool stuff that they have, making sure they had a use for it to save money. They are able to,
expensive,
to take that stuff off of a car that either blew up or was wrecked or whatever.
Sure,
or
they cannibalize
end of
all
life.
the time as they need to. Yeah.
So those cars are now on the auction block. So if you've wanted a black and white car with a
and I'll tell you,
a spotlight
I'll tell you that they're going to be high mileage, all of them. But as far as well maintained, they're probably
either
the
high
best
mileage or wrecked.
Yeah,
You know.
but as far as maintenance records, the oil change, they're probably the most well maintained vehicles out there.
Yeah.
So even though they're high mileage vehicles, if you find one that's not wrecked, you could. That's probably quite a good serviceable car for you for a long time.
You can. You know, our
I'll
road
send my
department
kid to college in a Crown Vic over some little, tiny little car. Yeah.
Hyundai Electric.
Yeah, well, I'll put him in that Crown Vic. It's got a little metal around him. Absolutely, yeah.
And our road department maintains all those vehicles. Just like you said, the second that they say, this part is a little sketchy, let's replace it.
Yeah.
These brakes, we could probably, squeeze another 10,000 miles. Let's replace them.
Absolutely.
And being proactive like that really goes a long way towards cars. Every single oil change. It's not like mine. The light comes on.
Right.
I'll get to that.
It in a month or two.
A couple thousand miles later, I better go get the oil change. I'm almost to a second oil change.
I know it was 5,000, but you can go 8, right?
and I mean, the second that comes on, it is serviced and clean oil, the top of the line
cars
stuff.
will last longer if you take care of them like that. That's a proven fact.
Even the tires, on police cars, you and I can get along with their rejects for another 50, 60,000 miles.
Absolutely.
In their case, going at the speeds they go and needing the dependability, they absolutely get new tires all the time.
That's the last thing they won't fail
straight.
them when they're in the middle of a high pursuit chase or a dangerous situation.
And next time the sheriff comes on, ask him to tell you about the grappler. I don't want to give up anything.
All right.
The sheriff's got some cool stuff.
He loves to. Yeah, he does have cool toys. So we'll see him in a couple.
They let me try out their firearms training simulator the other day.
I saw that. They were talking about that last time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
That is cool.
I respect our law enforcement, but after doing that and realizing what you have to do with a fraction of a second to determine what the proper thing to do is, I respect them even more.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that is
it does put their job in perspective.
And of course we are all praying for Chance Cavan. Thank him for what he did.
Great to see
Thanks for the Roswell
the
Police
reception he got
Department.
yesterday back in town, and I saw a great cool picture of I think pretty much all law enforcement hanging out with him there in that picture. It was really cool.
Good.
So.
And Roswell Police Department, all of them are top notch, and this is Chance's day to get prayers, but we pray for all of you guys all the time.
Absolutely.
But
well, thank you as always.
Thank you.
All right, we got 4 minutes. I got 4 minutes of ads to get in, so but we will see you next time. Thank you.
All right.
Quick break before news. Don't go away.
Using the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell. New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nibert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment